You're listening to the Boxing Coalition.
And it just broke the guy's heart. The guy had nothing left, and he knew he couldn't last another 4 or 5 rounds.
Ricky Wars just smashed his soul.
What it is, let's get it.
Fuck that, this your different, nigga. You hear me?
Let's get it.
Go kick his motherfucker.
Get that motherfucker in.
Let's see you do that. Little step back, bang, bang, bang. Little step back, bang, bang.
Bang, 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 bang. Try and stop it. Bang, bang. Here I come. Bang. You want to throw sometime? Bang.
Body shot. Boom, 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 boom. Go to the body. Kill that body. You took his nuts, now you gotta take his heart.
Yeah, take his whole soul away.
Yeah, get out of here, Dale. I'll see you later. Find something incredible. Get out of here.
He was higher than a motherfucker. I'll tell you, he was stoned as fuck.
No, it's only a majority decision if there was an even score. There's no even score here. You're an official, right? You're an official of the state. Well, then you don't understand how to score.
Oh, my God. Unbelievable. The crowd here on Fuego.
He's ready to be whooped, man. He's ready to be whooped. He's ready to be whooped.
And Howard Foster has stopped it. Wow. That is going to be controversial.
But you really liked to stand toe-to-toe with him in the 12th round, even if you thought you won the fight. It was all. Did you like that? I love you.
Hello, and welcome to the Boxing Coalition, a place to discuss anything boxing. We have a rotating panel of hosts that consist of Chemo, Mao Alpha, Cam, Daniel Lim, and MV Chu. If you want to have your say, call in on Skype. Just add Box Coalition and get involved in the show.
Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of the Boxing Coalition. My name is Cam. Joining me tonight, Roos, Ari, and Daniel Lim. Hope you guys are good. Ari, I'll start with you. Let's go back to Saturday. It was your birthday. You turned 14. And your boy James DeGale delivered you a great birthday present. Obviously, you've been a fan of his for a while. Ever since you've been calling up the show, you always big him up. And I guess for you, it was nice to see him actually win his first world title and become the first British boxing Olympian gold medalist to win a world title.
Yep, it was a good day for me, definitely. You know, I celebrated the birthday on Friday. Of course, Saturday had to be about boxing. Yeah, man, fight was good. You know, you nearly had me worried there in the middle rounds where he started. I don't know what he was doing. I don't think he was tired. I think he was just coasting or something. You know, we didn't know what was getting told in the corner. You know, I don't know, because PBC like to. I watched a rewatch of PBC after, and they like to. I don't think they like to show us corner work. They like to obviously they go to adverts and then they come back to guys like fake champions like Jacobs telling you what the corner said. So, you know, we don't know what was said, but that's one thing he needs to work on, you know. But other than that, you know, Jesus, that left hand. What did I say before? What did I say on the pre-fight show? I said that left hook of his, that left hand is so awkward that there's no other boxer out there who's that awkward with their left on a southpaw. That these guys, you've seen it now where Paraban, Gonzalez, previous opponents of DeGale, where they don't see it coming because he loops it so weird.
Yeah, it's almost like an overhand. It's almost like an overhand instead of a straight.
Yeah. And he changes up. Sometimes he loops it like wide, but that time he kind of, you know, overhand left it. And Dirrell got quick, man. You know, I actually missed it the first on. You know, I think I was on my phone or something. I don't know what I was doing, but I missed it. When I looked up, Dirrell's already up.
Yeah, you definitely got up a bit too quick, I think.
He got up quick. And then, you know, the second knockdown again, that one, I think it was a knockdown. Some people saying it might have been a bit, I don't know, pushing down, but I don't know. I thought it was a knockdown myself. You know, he landed another left hand on him, went down, and then he slipped again on the end of the round. His legs were shaky because you saw after he tried to go to his corner, he could barely move.
Like who, Ari? Who's questioning that? The second one.
I think you're referring to me because before the show started, I was questioning Ari whether he thought the second knockdown was legit. I thought it was a bit suspect. I don't mind it being given. I just thought maybe he was pushing down on him. If you watch it in slow motion, a replay, you see DeGale's arm wrapped around the ropes, and he's kind of pushing down a bit on Dirrell. But it's all good though, is what it is. One thing I want to ask you though. Sorry, go on.
First thing first, having you go eat your crow.
Nah, man, I switched to DeGale last minute on Saturday afternoon.
No, but hold on. This is where I have a problem with this, yeah, because when we do our official picks on the podcast last week, you were like Dirrell. So if you go and change your mind and pick it on the prediction league, right, you still have to eat crow because that's what you say is gonna win.
Nah.
Like
okay.
You're trying to play both fields. You know, you can't be 1 foot here, 1 foot there.
No, okay, Roos, you make a fair point, but to my credit, that's the first time I've ever really made a late change pick-wise. Okay. And you also have to consider that we do a show on a Monday. Like, a lot of shit happens between Monday and Saturday. Like, you can see the guy at the weigh-in and he looks like shit. So you're fair, you know what I mean? You're fair to change your pick. So
I should disagree. I feel like that actually gives more power and more kind of respect to the prediction league because that's the final word per se, right? And that's written code too. So everything that you decide or whatever you pick on that site, obviously that's written record. So
yeah, but what if someone's been shitting on like someone? Like the last podcast, Cam was like he was going hard on DeGale, man.
No, it wasn't. I said I thought it was going to be a close fight. I wasn't shitting on him at all, man. Come on.
Okay. Mild shitting.
Diarrhea.
I would call that mild.
But the question I want to ask you, Ari, I've heard a few people mention it after the fight is, should DeGale have kind of jumped on Dirrell at the start of the third round?
Yes. But again, maybe he was wary because obviously Dirrell's a good counterpuncher like he is. I don't know. But I still think DeGale won the round, but yes, from how shaky Dirrell was at the end of the second. And Dirrell's corner was smart, man. They delayed a lot. You know, I think I was talking to you, I was saying, Jesus, this is a long minute. You know what I mean? It was more like a minute and a half where I think they took his gum shield away and then he had to wait for it to come back. So maybe, I don't know, his legs looked like he was back. But yes, he should have definitely tried to get on his chest a bit and loop the left again, but he didn't. Yeah, other than that, yeah, there obviously at times he should have pressed more, but you know, he's a natural counter boxer. So I guess it's not really in his DNA.
Yeah, and I asked you this off air as well. Do you think Hearn will now just wrap DeGale in cotton and just protect him for a few fights until he tries to look for a big fight?
Obviously the plans Groves. We all hope Groves wins versus Jack because that'll be a big fight. Their rematch will be a big fight. I guess, you know, we'll meet up again for that if it happens in London or wherever. So I guess until then, yes, you know, you see what he's doing with Brook, where, you know, Brook's having 2 easy fights back to back, but obviously, mandatory is IBF, they push them, so whoever's next is IBF and mandatory will be at the start of, most likely January, February. But, yeah, we'll have a homecoming in London. You know, it'll be someone, I could pull up the rankings now and I can mostly throw up a guess. It'll be someone like top 15 in the IBF.
I'll be at that fight.
Someone like
in spirit, you mean, Dan, yeah?
No, physically. I need to meet up Mrs. DeGale. The sister, that is, not the mother.
My sister.
Exactly.
Dan.
Someone like a Medina, you know, like a Medina, the guy who knocked out
Porky Medina.
I thought you were referring to Bad Medina first. I just had to switch images in my head, the mental image I was making up right now.
What's that TMT guy he knocked out again? I forgot. I can't.
J. Leon Love.
Left me. Yeah, guy knocked that Love. Has he lost since then? If he hasn't lost then I definitely see that as next.
Porky Medina in the OG.
We all know what Hearn is. You know, I'm not gonna chat shit. You know, the girl's one of my favorite fighters, but I'm not gonna lie and say he's gonna go and fight a Ward now. You know, Hearn's not gonna do that unless it's a massive fight.
Yeah, just check.
Hey, Cam, are they related? Bad Medina and Porky Medina?
No comment. But Dan, you saw the fight. What was your thoughts?
I think I'm going to be a little bit more critical than Ari, just because I do feel like DeGale's a good fighter. He's very talented, but like you mentioned, Cam, after those two knockdowns, I mean, not only did I want him to be more aggressive, it's just not about aggression, because you are right. I mean, Dirrell is a very talented fighter, so you should be wary about how offensive-minded you are afterwards. But to me, it's like he completely went the complete opposite direction, in that he just started being entirely complacent and started fighting on the back foot, which just really puzzled me. Those middle rounds, it seemed like he completely took his foot off the gas pedal. And if you're vying for a world title that you've been clamoring for two to three fights, and you're trying to cement your position in that weight division, and to leave a fight of that magnitude in the judges' hands, because leading up to the 11th round, that fight could have gone either way, depending on who won the last two rounds. And DeGale did win the fight pretty comfortably in my eyes, but just to be in that position in the first place when you're, coming up the ranks like DeGale is to me is it's unacceptable, just because you are that much better than your opponent, and this is a statement fight, and you can't put yourself in a vulnerable position like that. But I'm just being a little bit harsh, because I do think DeGale is a very, very good fighter.
Just looking at 168 at the moment, I don't think it's one of the strongest divisions anymore. I think people are getting old. People have had unexpected losses, and I just think that it's kind of ideal for DeGale, because he's quite an awkward customer. I think he can kind of reign as middleweight, super middleweight IBF champion for a while, and then if he does fight Groves in a unification fight, I think he can grab 2 belts and just kind of sit there happily. And then, obviously, because Ward's the WABA, he won't be ranked in any of his. And I don't think Hearn will ever try and make that fight anytime soon, unless the money's right.
I agree. Yeah. That division is very, very poor now. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of crazy to think about it, because back when Andre Ward was fighting on Showtime for that tournament, it was probably the best division in boxing at the time, but not so much anymore.
Definitely. Bruce, you're a fan of DeGale. You've met him in the past. What did you think of the performance?
I think just to touch on a little bit of what Ari was saying, he didn't know what he was doing. I looked at it this way. I looked at his, how the fight went, actually kind of went, with this, fortunately for him, because he knew Dirrell, obviously, technically, Dirrell was slightly better than him, right? But the thing that actually edged DeGale on was like, look, I'm gonna go in there, right? I have to stick it on him, right? That's like a terminology we have here in England. Just stick it on him. Like, wherever sport you're playing, if you know the guy is better than you, right? Just don't give him space, yeah? No matter how much he's embarrassing you, just stay in his face, right? Because the more you do that, you actually beginning to discourage him, and you begin to wear him down, right? And that's your only chance of you actually kind of winning that edge over him, right? So I think, the first round, second round, he kind of stuck it on him, like you saw it, right? Obviously, the knockdown came, and he was like, wow, this is a bonus that I don't really know how to handle. But I'm glad he did not pounce on him on the third round, because I was talking to there's another middleweight guy in the 80s here in England, and we were talking about this fight coming up before the actual fight happened. And something he mentioned to me, he said, look, when you fight, yes, you prepare yourself for 15 rounds, because back in the 80s, they used to do the 15 rounds, and he's a middleweight as well, right? He said to me something very intriguing. He goes, you prepare for all these rounds, right? And you have your fully maximum fitness level, right? But when you get there in the ring, this guy's pace is a level above you. So if you try to match up with him, it's only going to be to your detriment. If you're trying to stay with him toe to toe, not literally like standing there and trading, but just, sticking on him and keeping up with him.
Keep up with his pace.
Yeah. So if DeGale knew that this guy is technically sounder than him, if he stuck with him in round 1 or round 2, and then he gets the bonus, he kind of threw him off. It's like, shit, you know what? If I keep at this pace, I know what's going to happen. So I need to kind of slow myself down. And obviously that worked in his fortune. So even though we were scratching our head, what the hell is he doing? Like, I think Dirrell is a pace just slightly above him. Plus, he's technically sounder. So, you have to go there cautiously. You can't just keep up that pace of round one or round two. So I think he did the right thing, and fortunately it worked for him.
And that's why before the fight I said he should work on the inside, because I know DeGale's got a very good inside game, and I know Dirrell at the same time hasn't. You saw it in the fight where he tries to hold and smother on the inside and wait for the ref to separate them to get going again. But then on the rewatch again, I watched it on the NBC on the rewatch, and they spoke to Chris Bird, and Bird was actually saying he wanted Dirrell on the inside because he wanted him to counter on the inside when DeGale would let off, and he did counter sometimes. He countered off the left hook, but a lot of times the problem that Dirrell had was a lot of times they traded left hooks, and DeGale's would land first, so his one would look better. Like again on the knockdown, Dirrell was throwing a left hook when he got caught.
Yeah. It's like you beat him to the punches.
Yeah. So their game plan actually backfired on them, and that's the reason he actually got knocked down.
Right. So that's the whole thing. It's like if you're there with him, right, and you really focus, you switch on, the minute he's about to fire, you beat him to it. And for me, Dirrell is like, because a lot of technical boxers is like, they try to make the fight their pace, yeah? And you see how DeGale was moving around, right? And he kept forcing Dirrell to reset, he's trying to, lock him in range before he start throwing the combos. And I think that's just frustrating him. And then also, you take in mind when DeGale got that cut, also he had to be extra cautious because now he's thinking, shit, yeah, I don't want this cut to get bigger and bigger and bigger. I'm fighting in America, and then they would just stop the fight like, well, sorry, you can't carry on. So,
So,
that
cut was a bad.
Yeah, it was a bad cut. So, already round after round, in the third round, he's thinking, shit, I can't keep up with this pace because, you know yourself. You know your gas levels. Not say that he gassed out in round 3, but it's like, look, I need to slow down. And also I've got this cut. So he had to be very cautious. And all of that, he worked in his favor, man. But, and props to him, man.
Yeah, I wouldn't have minded so much if he threw more. There was like one round is like he didn't throw anything. There's good moving. People say, oh, Floyd moves. But my reason why I give Floyd a lot of rounds when he does it is because he's the only one landing clean when he's doing that, even though he's not throwing a lot. So at the same time, DeGale's trying to do that, but if he's getting caught in the ropes at times, and even if the flurry's not landing a punch, it's aggression. And, you have to score for aggression if nothing's going on. Like, I know Cam said that for why he gave Dirrell a lot of rounds in the late rounds, where if no one's doing anything, you have to go with the guys moving forward. And I definitely agree. And that's the only thing I'd say DeGale did wrong in this fight. Other than that, if we didn't do that in the middle rounds, that's a very good performance. Because I thought he won at least 4 of the first 6. The first round was close. I gave it to Dirrell. But then I thought DeGale won 2, 3, 5, 6. And then I didn't give him a round again till 11, 12. So I only had him winning because of the knockdowns, 6 rounds apiece.
The second round was intriguing though, because like DeGale was kind of getting beat up for like 2.5 minutes, and then when he pulled that overhand left out of the blue, it just switched the whole fucking. I thought it was going to be an early night. I thought he might knock him out in the third, but he took his foot off the gas as we talked about earlier. But
I would also say for Dirrell, like mentally, this is the toughest I've ever seen him.
Yeah.
Because after he got up so quick, it's almost like it was a mix of emotion, disbelievement, embarrassment, all things comes together, and he's looking at his corner like, how the hell did this happen? I was beating him for 2.5 rounds and he just pulled that off, And I was thinking, that's the moment, because this guy, we've seen him mentally when he just starts to crumble, and he's got all the ability in the world. For me, that moment, I was like, oh shit, this is it, he's in the bag. And then I see him, kind of hanging in there, and I'm like, wow, he's, I have to give him props for that, man. I really thought he was going to start crumbling there.
I ain't gonna lie, man. Yeah. I thought DeGale was gonna throw it away, Like when he gave up all those middle rounds, I thought, oh shit, man. He's gonna be complaining afterwards that, oh shit, why did they give it away? But you did turn it on towards the end, especially the 12th. I give Dirrell the 11th. A lot of people criticised that, but I just thought he landed some of the cleanest shots. DeGale was throwing a lot, but he wasn't really landing a lot. But I totally understand people giving DeGale the 11th.
Yeah. I think DeGale going from, nearly bossed in the later rounds, and then, they call it the championship rounds, and he stepped up. I think McDonald got in his ear. Well, he should have got in his ear from round 8, 9, but maybe I think he started shouting at him in round 11, like, this is close. And imagine, if he lost, that would have been terrible. You're gone from knocking the guy down twice. You've won most of the rounds in the first half, and you let the guy come back. It's just, that would have been, because around 9 or 10, I was starting to sit back, thinking, what the hell, man? You know what I mean? But then he did turn it round in the end. So
He did turn it.
but
I think
you need to sort it out, man.
I hear you, Ari, but we also tend to forget, like, with DeGale, I think, for me, I did tell him this. I think, in the past, looking at his past situation with past promoters, coming from the hood, you always feel like, yo, I'm old to be in the big fights. Like, why the hell these people are taking me for a fool, right? And I think this is the right time for him to start stepping on those levels, right?
Yeah.
And, we've got so much high expectations of him. Obviously, his good performance, things worked, fortunately for him in this fight. And I think we need to, go easy on it, give him time. He's still development, and he's still got a lot more to come, definitely. No question.
Yeah.
But we need to give him time, and because we expect so much of him, and we want him to do it right away. But you get there. He'll get there.
All right.
Dan, did you say something?
No, I think Dan dropped off.
But can I, before we go on to other callers, I just have to say, yeah, that's the only thing about DeGale where I thought he'd snapped out of that, but maybe we hadn't seen it because he's been knocking out guys early in his last 2 fights. But he's done that a couple times now in 12 rounders where after dominating the first half, he's taken his foot off the gas. I don't know if it's because he's saving himself, but I don't think he needs to save himself because he's always talking about he does 15 round sparring, and he jogs crazy amount because, McDonald's a fitness freak.
Yeah.
So I don't know why he feels that he needs to do that. Because in his post-fight talk, he did say, "Oh, I thought I was well ahead, and I was making sure I had sign at the end." Because maybe he thought Dirrell was desperate in the later rounds. But at the same time, you're giving away them rounds instead of giving the later rounds. Where if you had won a couple of them rounds earlier, you wouldn't have to worry. All you'd have to worry about is a knockout.
Yeah, that's a good point.
He played his cards right. He was like, you know what, I'm not gonna, show you all what I've got. When you step up, then I'll pull my next trick. If you're not pulling your next trick, then my trick would be, conserving myself. Yeah, just watching how I'm, keeping an eye on my energy levels.
Yeah.
And then when it comes to the sprint, I'm going to stick you on you again, in the later rounds.
That's a good question, Ari, and I wanted to ask Roos, because Roos is about his nutrition and keeping healthy and stuff. Do you think DeGale's a bit of a junk food eater? Because if he's putting in so much road work, why is he never, in amazing shape? He always, and obviously he's got the tag chunky in that, but he even joked about himself. He joked about himself, I think, to iFilm or I think to Sky Sports News that it's the first time he's got a little 2-pack. He's never had a 6-pack. And for me, if you're a professional boxer, you should have had the 6-pack from day one. So do you think he's a bit of a junk fuel, chocolate and crisps and stuff, Bruce?
I think,
might be genetics.
It's partly his genetics, like I say, it's like, if you see his family, it's both sides of his family, his mom and his dad, they're quite big, heavy guys, so I think genetically is there, and, partially also is, because you're doing the roadworks, you feel you could get away by, sneaking in 1 or 2, indulgence here and there. So it's, I'll say he's a bit of both,
I can't believe you just called DeGale's mum a big guy. You're never going to be invited to the house again, Roos, man.
No, his dad's big, and like his older brother is big as well. But his sister is in very good shape, man. Shout out to her. Very beautiful girl.
Ruth's hitting on his sister on live on the show, but
she makes the best tea. She's very very good girl, man. Very good girl.
All right, let's move on, man, before DeGale gets our show shut down. But let me get to my boy.
The champ is here! The champ is here!
Hamada.
Hi, boys.
You can't use that joke twice in 2 weeks.
Not this week, man.
Shout out to Joseph. Yeah, shout out to him, man. It's just a bit of jokes, man. What are you not saying?
Yo, where you been this weekend, man? Not really heard from you.
Relegation squad.
It's synced in this week.
Let's not get into football, please.
The penny dropped, finally.
All right, let's stick to boxing.
Yeah.
But what do you think of DeGale?
DeGale won on the flip side, so
I loved the fight, man. I thought it was a great fight. I don't know about you, I loved it, man. That's my kind of fight, innit? I like skillful boxers, you know what I'm trying to say? It's my kind of fight. I scored it 113 live, but then I had a quick watch back before the show, and I gave DeGale round 1 when I watched it live. I gave Dirrell round 1, but maybe I was a bit nervous since I'm a DeGale fan. I was a bit nervous, so I was thinking maybe Dirrell stole the round in the last minute of the round, because I think DeGale won the first 2 minutes. That's why I gave it to him when I rescored it. So I think DeGale won the fight, but I think in a rematch, I think Dirrell beats him, if they ever have a rematch.
What makes you think that?
I think Dirrell worked him out in the second half of the fight. I think he found it difficult early going because DeGale's so awkward. You know how he's so awkward. He throws that left hand really, really weird. Sometimes it's from left field. Sometimes it's over the top. It was very awkward for him to, slip or get out of the way of. But I think in the second half of the fight, those kind of punches, when they were landing, they weren't even landing flush anymore. I think Dirrell was taking the sting of some of those shots. So, and he was kind of winning the second half of the fight, and I think he worked him out. So, but I think I gave DeGale round 11 and 12 just on activity and aggression alone. I don't think he landed much of note in those rounds. It was just aggression and activity which won him those rounds, But I told you that last week. I told you James has got this thing where he switches off in the middle rounds. I've seen it quite a few times in his career. And I don't think it's his gas tank. I think he's fit. He puts in the work, but I just think it's mental. And he did admit afterwards that the occasion kind of did get to him. He wanted to save something for the final rounds, and I think he needs to sort that out. And because if he just was using his jab in those rounds, maybe he could have, won those rounds whilst kind of coasting, if you get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
But he wasn't really using his jab. Really, I think he didn't land a lot of jabs, and I saw the punch stats afterwards. And
it's hard to use your jab when the other guys go a better jab than you. Because every time you see Dirrell, every time Dirrell does the double jab, it's like it always work.
Yeah, you're right, because I did note that Dirrell's jab did keep DeGale occupied. It kept him occupied for a lot of the fight, and when he was throwing the jab, DeGale would have to either step back.
Yeah.
It was just when they were trading power punches, I think DeGale was getting the better of the exchanges when they were exchanging power punches. But I think he needs to work on his jab moving forward. I think his jab isn't the best.
Yeah, I've said that.
And the southpaw jab is a very useful weapon if you know how to use it. I'm trying to say. A lot of orthodox fighters say they struggle to get their jab going against the southpaw. So I think if he works on.
Sorry to interrupt you. I don't think the jab's his issue, you know. I think it's the stepping in after the jab that puts him out of position and shortens up his left hand sometimes where you can't really get it off. If you notice now, he always takes a big step just as he throws the jab, and I think that's the main issue. I think his range is not the best at times.
Yeah, probably. But he's just so awkward. I mean, it's like he gives away his southpaw advantages at times, but he's so awkward that he just gets away with it.
And I think for me, that's his best attribute, his awkwardness, right? And him pouncing on you. He's like an awkward guy pouncing on you, and then he's got this really powerful left hook. It's like, what the hell do I do, right? And for me, the thing like he needs to improve on, like, if he would have just kept the same movement, because Dirrell just couldn't lock him down. Yeah, work on that, work on his feet. Just keep doing the same thing you're doing in the round 1 and round 2, right? And then when you get your chance, you pounce on him. Because you're recovering, and then when you pounce on him, he's a powerful pouncer. Awkward, powerful pouncer, and that's like the nightmare. If you ever fight anyone, right, who's like that, that's like your worst nightmare. You don't know what to do with the guy. You're trying to get near him. He's he's moving away, and then he moves to you when he wants to, and then he does whatever he does to you. It's the worst thing, man.
Yeah, definitely. Because that's what won him 11-12. You know, that's what was missing in the late middle rounds when he lost the rounds, because he was moving. Right, it's all good to move and you're making him miss, but if nothing's coming back,
right,
you have to give it for the aggressor. So that's definitely the part of his game what he needs to do in the middle rounds. Because like Hamada said, I think I said it earlier, where man, that's the only problem he has in my opinion. That and the jab sorts them two things out, where his activity in the middle rounds where he kind of switches off, and the jab where he doesn't. Sometimes he needs to throw the jab and leave and stay outside with the jab. That's what he doesn't do. Yep. Other than that, you know, he's got everything in my opinion. That's why I'm a big fan of his. Then again in this fight, he showed a great chin, because, you know, I've said before, he's never been dropped. I don't think he's ever been dropped in amateurs or pro. And, you know, Dirrell was landing flush, some of them punches, like on the counter. He'd counter him, and DeGale never stepped back or nothing. You know, I never saw no signs of hurt. So, you know, he's got all the tools in my opinion, but, you know, there's a couple of things he needs to work on.
I just think, you know what, to be fair, like, I don't think Dirrell's got a lot of power. I remember him fighting that guy, what's his name, Blasi or something?
Biosi.
No, but he finished, but it's funny you say that. He finished Biosi in 5 rounds, and they talk up Callum Smith, and Callum Smith went 12 with him.
Yeah, but he fought him like 2 weeks later though, so
it's a thing where I think Biosi gassed, you know, and then he fatigued, and, you know, and then he just kind of like, fuck, why am I here taking a beating? You know, it wasn't so much Dirrell's power that took him out there.
Yeah.
You know, so, you know, those kind of punches, they weren't really phasing DeGale. It was like, oh shit, is that all you got? But then he's probably thinking, you know, but I don't want you to win rounds off me, so I'm not gonna come in range for you to be pot shotting me and just winning the rounds. No.
All right, I know all three of you are gonna say no, but Carl Froch was in the Sky Sports studio. Do you guys think that at any point during that fight he thought, you know what, why did I duck Dirrell? I think maybe I can take this guy down the stretch.
Dirrell or DeGale?
Sorry, DeGale. Maybe you can take this guy down the stretch, you know, because especially those rounds where he switches off. I think Froch in that position could maybe come on a bit strong.
Yeah, but at the same time, we're talking about him switching off, but you saw what he did with Dirrell in terms of switching off, where he moved. And if Dirrell's still struggling to pin him down, a slow-footed, slow-punching Froch, I don't think. Yeah, I see what you're saying, because, you know, Froch has done that. You know, everyone knows Froch is strong down the stretch. You saw what he did to Groves in the first fight after getting dominated. But I just think styles, and I've always said, even when he was in Channel 5, I've always said style-wise, he beats Froch. And I think Froch knows that, because, you know, Froch, I guess we'll get to it later, but Froch was sounding a bit salty. And this is the guy who got a robbery versus Dirrell. And then this guy clearly beat Dirrell, and you're trying to criticize him. But, you know, we'll get to that, I guess. But no, my answer to that, Cam, is no, because I think he would still get beat up in the first half, and then if DeGale did do that, he'll get on his bike, and I don't think he can catch him.
I agree, but I just think that there was a glimpse, I think, where Frotch thought, you know what, this guy, I couldn't possibly beat this guy, especially if they did some tactics like a very small ring where DeGale can't really use his feet. I could see Frotch possibly winning that fight, but I would still pick DeGale.
Get him on the ropes and bootay him.
Yeah, exactly, but I would probably still pick DeGale in that fight.
But the thing again, back to Frotch before them guys go on, I just want to quickly say, I think this guy's already retired. There's just ego with him now. Where the guy, I could tell by the way he's talking in the studio, like he's acting. You know, it's just I'm starting to lose it with Frotch. You know, I've always liked Frotch. You know, he's flown the flag for us for years. You know, he's done his thing for us. You know, I still, like I always say before, I still remember jumping up and down when he knocked out Boutte. You know, that knockout was brilliant, but. There's little things he does where it's like he's trying to keep his name in the place, but he hasn't fought for a year. Now they're talking about Triple G. I don't see that fight happening. You know, guys say it might happen, but I just don't see it happening.
I don't think that not fighting for a year is a big issue. I think his age is the bigger issue.
He keeps talking about, I need to get up for it. You know, it is. I think it's just he made so much money in the Groves 2 fight. He can't motivate himself now to fight for less than that. And there's no fights out there for him to make as much. It's as simple as that, and he doesn't want to do it. So if you don't do it, retire.
If I could see Golovkin making big money, but I don't think he would want to go out on 80,000 people in Wembley getting knocked out by Golovkin. To be honest, like where he is now, his last fight being the Groves fight at Wembley.
Just retire.
It's the ideal place to retire.
You know, you got no belts now. Just get out of it. But
I agree.
Bruce and Hamada, what do you think about what Cam said about DeGale Frotch fight?
I think DeGale is a wrong style for Frotch, because we all know Frotch, you know, his arch nemesis, he can't deal with movements, and that alone would be it'd be enough for to give DeGale's advantage. Movements alone.
Hamada, what do you think?
Yeah, likewise. I think it's all wrong for him. It's just too much of a. Can't think of the word that I want to use, but it's not just one person. Carl Frotch has had issues with. He had issues with Jermaine Taylor, Andre Dirrell, George Groves in the first fight, Andre Ward. It's too common for it to be something different. Plus, another thing is, I think Andre Dirrell is a very good fighter, and I think he worked out DeGale in the second half of the fight. I don't think Frotch at all will be able to work out James DeGale. I think James DeGale's awkward style would be all wrong for him, and he won't work him out. When's Carl Frotch ever been, you know, kind of... You know what I'm trying to say? When's Carl Frotch ever been, like, you know, intelligent in the ring?
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? He's never been... You know what I'm trying to say? So... I don't think it'll work him out.
Fair enough. All right, let's get to the phone lines. We got our Welsh correspondent on the line. Are you there, Joe?
Yo.
How's it going, Joe? You alright?
Guys?
How's it going? You alright?
Hamada done me last week. Fair play.
It's all better, mate.
Oh, fucking hell. There's one way at the moment, though. Fucking hell.
Back to championship.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I had a mad circumstance how I watched it. My internet went down, so I had to like sprint to the pub. And it was just me and this one Irish bloke in it. And it was just us two watching the fight, and there was no sound, which was kind of pretty good actually, because it was sort of I didn't have to deal with Hall-in and Watt, so I could probably just enjoy the fight for what it was. And I saw a lot of people on Twitter saying, it was a really tough fight to score. But I didn't really think so. I think it was one of the sort of very rare fights that was competitive but very easy to score at the same time. I thought DeGale easily sort of won 1-5, and then Dirrell won 5-10, and then DeGale won the last 2 rounds for me. Like, it was quite obvious that the start was unbelievable. He took the middle rounds off. Either I thought he'd hurt his hand, but he obviously said that he was just coasting. And I think he did just enough down the stretch to beat a real sort of world class fighter in Dirrell. And I think that's probably a more impressive win than Brook in against Porter for me, because we know how good and talented Dirrell is, and that the fact that it was a close fight, but I thought that Dirrell convinced quite convincingly, and no one can really dispute it. You know, he went out there and he beat a real world class operator. So all credit to him, man. We got another world champ.
Definitely, man. Props to DeGale. What do you see next? I've asked Ari this, but do you think Hearn will give him a few easy paydays and then?
Well, he did say, that's going to be the October show with Hearn now, and in the O2 it's going to be Joshua against I think it'll be Chisora, and then you're obviously going to have. They might get the mandatory out the way like they did with Brook, but I think it's going to be someone from the top 15. It won't be that Gilberto Ramirez. He's a bit too dangerous. It'll be someone sort of in the top 15 mandatory defence, and then they're going to hope Groves wins against Jack, and then you've got that. Then that's his Wembley show next summer for me. What do you reckon?
Did you say Ramirez is too dangerous?
Yeah, obviously he looked like obviously we're calling him Gil Bumter and all that.
Fuck's sake.
Yeah, but he's not going to fight DeGale. There's no way that who's he with? I think he's with Golden
Top rank or let him nowhere near DeGale. Nowhere near.
He's fighting Edwards now next. I think he's fighting in a couple of weeks.
Yo, is anyone mandatory yet, or have IBF not made a final eliminator yet?
No, they haven't, because
Hearn's well pally with IBF, isn't he?
Yeah. No, but IBF still don't. They still making fighters mandatories. It's not like some of the other guys, like say, for example, Aaron with WBO. It's not like that. You know, he still runs by the rules, but he likes the IBF route.
I think Ari's right, I think he's going to fight Porky Medina next,
He's going to Medina. I looked at Medina's record. He's actually
got like 4 wins after that Love one, innit?
Yeah. Since he knocked out Love, he's won another 3 fights, even though they're not good at opposition. So you already know what Hearn will say. He's knocked out Janiel Love. He's on a run. He's number 6 in the IBF. You know what Hearn does.
You know what I think is going to happen.
One question, sorry for you guys here. How you guys, what's your guys' take? I know you guys have been coming down on Hearn, right? Obviously, but
no, I'm not coming down on Hearn.
I don't mind Hearn.
No.
Saying, you know how it is.
Not right now. I mean, in this fight, we're all very impressed by what DeGale did, but obviously the machine behind DeGale is Hearn. So do we at least give a little bit of credit for Hearn for this time around, or we still same sentiment, coming down on
it?
Of course. What's everyone's take?
You're such an agent.
No,
man. I'm giving Hennessy all the props, man. He got him in the WBC silver belt, and he dropped it and went the IBF route with Hearn. So I'm giving Hennessy all the props.
No, I'm not giving Hennessy nothing, because Hennessy had him for ages. Hennessy had him fighting
in glow water, fucking yeah. I'm just trolling, to be honest. I'm just trolling.
I think Hearn essentially has put him on 2 pay-per-view shows and got him a world title fight, which on the surface sounds unbelievable. But you got to factor in that obviously the injury. He was completely injury free when he signed with Hearn, and obviously he was having to deal with his groin injury on Hennessy. But I think a big thing with DeGale that I get the feeling that he's a sort of a big time sort of performer. He's not going to get up for fighting in the fucking blue water down in Kent against some bum. He wants to be on the big stage, on big pay-per-view fights in stadiums. I mean, I think that brings out the best of him. It's like the exact opposite of Kevin Mitchell.
I agree.
I'm going to play devil's advocate, though. Let's just say when DeGale signed with Eddie Hearn told him, IBF final eliminator with Brandon Gonzalez, you're going to win. If you win, you get Froch Groves winner. Cool. He won that fight, and he didn't get the Froch Groves winner. Instead, he was basically inactive for a few months, then was given the runaround by Froch. You know what I'm trying to say? And then he fought Paraban, and then he was told, okay, you're going to fight for the vacant title. It's going to be in London. And then he lost the purse bid, and then he had to travel to America. So it could work both ways. But one thing I give Eddie Hearn props for is the fact that, his fighters are going abroad, and most of them has been in close fights, and they're getting a fair crack at the whip. I mean, should we give Hearn credit? Should we give Heyman credit for not really paying off judges? Because I know if he was in them kind of fights with Aaron fighters, they wouldn't get the nod.
Now, I've been impressed with the PBC judging so far. You know, like it's very fair. Apart from that 117-109 card, I don't know where that came from, to be honest. But apart from that, the rest of the PBC matchups have been very well scored, I thought.
You know what it is? I think, and I've been thinking about this recently because it's been happening in Heyman cards. I think like these governing bodies, they see what Heyman's doing, and they're starting to not fuck with him because they didn't want the IBF belt in there. They didn't want DeGale to get the belt in the ring. And, before the fight, they're not calling it IBF fight. They're calling it super middleweight title fight. Again, I'll go back to Jacobs. When they spoke to him in the corner, they didn't pull up, WBA regular champ. They just put up 160 champion. So it's where Heyman's trying to get rid of these. Obviously, something's going to happen. He's obviously trying to make it like a UFC where he's going to make his own PBC belt. I guess that's the long term for him. So he's starting to not care about the governing bodies, and they're at the same time not caring for him. So they're not going to give him a home field advantage on these fights. For example, Hearn, when guys come over here, we've seen guys get dodgy cards. You know how it is. Again, Aram, Golden Boy back in the day, Don King, it's just how it is. Home field advantage usually gets you a couple rounds. But Heyman doesn't get it because Heyman doesn't care for them. And it's hurting his fighters maybe, but at the same time, it's good that we're getting even fights. But other than that, the only one I say was dodgy was the Omar Figueroa, and that was Texas judges, and we all know about Texas, so that's different.
It's very refreshing to see 50-50 fights with clear judging. I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but considering the shit that we get in the UK usually, it's quite nice that you have a really tight fight, and the scores for 2/3 of them actually reflect that. And that's obviously we take that for granted. Obviously, when it doesn't happen in the UK. But just on PBC, there's things about the PBC that are really, really good, and there are things that personally I don't really like. I don't like the fact that there's no music. They don't walk out with the entourage, but I do like the idea of their faces sort of up against the screen behind and all that, and then the presentation and cinematography and all that is really good. So considering it's still a work in progress, man, I quite enjoy the actual broadcast.
Wow, the broadcast was amazing. I watched the NBC stream just before I come on the show today, but it was amazing. I think that's the best production I've ever seen in terms of boxing. I don't think I've ever seen anything so good. It was quality.
Yeah. They are starting to get their walkout music now because DeRell actually came out to that Roy Jones tune.
DeGale came out to that Lil Wayne tune he always comes out to.
Yeah, I don't like that tune. I don't really fuck for Lil Wayne. I like real rap, but Roy Jones, that Roy Jones banger.
Yeah, that's
when Roy Jones is making better music than Lil Wayne, he sells out. You just know how rap is. But that's a classic. When I heard that, I was rooting for DeGale. You know what I mean? I had to bob my head to it. DeRell knows how to pick him.
Nah, but Selby, man, Big L. We'll be hearing Big L on Saturday night, innit, Joe?
Yeah.
Let me just get the tissues, Cam. Hold on.
No, man, none of that.
Hey, it was a tactical decision by Heyman to not show any of the crowd, wasn't it? I reckon there must have been about 300 people in there.
It was just DeGale's family and fucking Dirrell's family, and that's it.
Fucking about 10 journos.
Yeah. But all right, let's crack on with the rest of some of the fights from the weekend. Let's keep with that card. Edwin Rodriguez versus Craig Baker. I don't know. Not much to speak of. I thought this was going to be before the DeGale fight, but obviously it was after. Craig Baker just high guard, getting punched, and then the ref just thought, just stop this. I thought it was a bad stoppage, but Craig Baker wasn't really throwing anything back. Hamada, man, you had high hopes of Craig Baker, man. You were talking him up to me, man. What happened to Craig Baker?
I think the stoppage was terrible. It reminded me of Enzo Macrinelli versus Oval McKenzie, where what's his name? Howard Foster. I forgot his name. What's his name? The black barlid ref.
Ian John Lewis.
Yeah, him. Yeah. Where he just jumped in and it reminded me of that.
I thought it was more like Kawasaki versus Manfredo.
Yeah, it was like that as well.
Well,
I'm just
Kazaki's just throwing flurries, not landing nothing.
slaps. He's throwing slaps.
Yo,
bastard.
Going back to Ian John Lewis, man, he was doing the Perez Povetkin fight, weren't he? And then did you hear that the Russian version of Michael Buffer calling him Jan?
Is that him?
What? Yeah, he was a ref.
Povetkin Perez.
Yeah. Ian John Lewis. He was calling him Jan John Lewis.
I don't remember seeing him.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, neither do I.
He was the ref, man.
You sure?
Let me double check.
It was over that quick. I mean,
I don't think it was.
Yeah, it was, man. I'm definitely, because I made a joke before the fight. I am the referee. You know, when he always says it at the beginning. I'm sure it was him, man. Give me 2 seconds. Let me just check.
Nah, man, it was some old white guy with like. It was some old guy. He looks like Italian or something.
I think he done the Droz fight.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, I'm getting mixed up. He did the Droz fight. Yeah. That's it. Sorry, apologies.
I knew he wasn't there.
Yeah, it was Luigi did the Perez fight, innit?
Hey, if we're done with that American card, Povetkin is the number 2 heavyweight on the planet. For me.
Or behind Fury.
Yeah, no, I think he's ahead of Fury, man.
You have to say he's more proven than Fury.
Yeah,
he's
just
beaten better opposition.
Yeah, I know. That's you know me.
I think that sort of just shows how dominant Vlad is, though, because he just looks so shit against Vlad, and he's just pretty much murdered every heavyweight that he's come up against since.
Yeah, I don't know. Perez, I think Perez was cold, man. The guy's so lazy. I don't think he warmed up in the back. I heard his training camp was in his garage. No, I'm not joking. I actually did hear that.
Robert Guerrero style.
I did see him, a video of him like pushing a car. Did you guys see that?
No.
He's just doing a road work by pushing a car. It's quite funny.
Perez is just a classic example of the, they say the Cubans come out and they love life from
Well, to be fair, like in Cuba, it's hard to to import a car there. So there's a lot of old cars there. So you have to be pushing cars and
So
no, and I hope there's noises about Wilder Povetkin. Well, I don't know if he's the mandatory now, because I think Wilder tweeted out that he was gonna something about a purse bid or something. But I'd like to see who wins that purse bid, man, out of the Russians and Heyman.
I can't see Wilder going to Moscow. I can see him vacating the belt,
Nah, I think it's too valuable.
No, I think if he's with PBC and they're kind of not really representing the belts, they're just gonna say, "Oh, he's the champion at this division." I don't think Heyman wants him to go to Russia and get knocked the fuck out, because I think Povetkin beats Wilder. I'm a big fan of Povetkin.
Oh, I think he absolutely destroys Wilder, big time.
Yep. So I can see him vacating, and I can't see Heyman beating the Russians in the first bid, man. They've got big money, so they brought Vlad over to Russia, so
Heyman's got a.
I know he's Ukrainian anyway, but still, he fights in Germany usually.
Heyman's got a, what's it called? He's got a win. He's got not win, so he's got to negotiate beforehand. He can't let that go to first bids. He has to, give them a nice deal to make them come to America. Otherwise, Wilder's going to have to vacate that title, because I doubt Wilder will go to Russia. And I doubt Heyman would allow him to go to Russia.
Yep.
Would he be allowed into Russia?
With all that bomb squad bullshit.
That was good. Okay. Anyone see the rest of the card? The Box Nation Friday night? The Russian card?
Nah.
I watched the highlight of that Kudryashov, is it? Kudryashov, or whatever the fuck his name is.
Yeah.
The Russian Hammer.
He didn't look that good, to be honest, on that performance. He got the guy out of there, but I've seen... Maybe we're hyping him a bit too much, and maybe it's just awkward style, because that was it. Victor Marrero. He was quite awkward for a few rounds, but Kudryashov broke him down after a bit.
He's not that quick. Like his hands aren't that fast. He just carries so much power, like ridiculous amounts of power. But yeah, man, he's fucking scary as well, isn't he?
Yeah, man, especially that beard as well. It looks quite menacing. But
yeah, like. Nothing for something in the chat just saying, like, he did fight the month before. So
yeah, but didn't he knock the guy out like the first or the second round? It's not hard work, is it?
yeah, but like that guy was like, I think the resume was a lot better, so his camp must have been a bit harder for that. But yeah, I feel sorry for Bellew, man. He's trying to like win a world title on cruiserweight, and you've got all these monsters coming up behind him.
Bellew's just food. Bellew's just food.
Yeah, Hearn needs to fucking keep him in his little fucking cot, mate, and feed him shitty fucking fat cruiserweights. He doesn't want to let him anywhere near these eastern beasts.
I think Bellew can beat Hernandez.
Yeah,
I think Hernandez is there for the taking. I think he's looked poor in his last couple of fights, and he's been inactive.
And La Bamba, he can beat that La Bamba guy, Rodriguez.
I definitely can think he can beat Hernandez, because I'm a fan of Hernandez, but he's almost like a worse version of DeGale in the sense of he switches off for like 9 rounds of the fight rather than like 5 or 6 rounds. So, and you're right, Hamada's inactivity, and he almost looks like he doesn't have the passion as well. He's just another guy that looks like he's just doing it for the money. When he's in the ring, you never see like him actually pushing himself or trying to get a guy out of there. He's just happy to kind of cruise and go into cruise control. But the Druds fight against the guy who was 3 weeks late replacement, it was very one-sided, I thought, man.
Is Druds good?
Yeah, I think he's alright, man. I think it's the second time I've seen him. I don't really watch the cruiserweights as much, to be honest. It's not a division I focus on unless it's something that's going to come onto my TV and we can record it quite easily. Like, especially with Simbros not being around, it's hard to find some of these cards and fights. So unless it's on Box Nation, it's unlikely I'm going to hunt it down.
I think it's an up and coming division, man. You've got that Kudryashov and Usyk as well coming up. So in a few years, man, I think it's going to be quite a decent division.
I think it's just going to be a Eastern Europe division, though. I don't think it's going to get shine in America because there's no American guys in there. So it's.
But in a way, that probably helps it because then you don't get all the bullshit politics.
Yeah,
it
that's
ends
a
up
good
sort
point.
of like the flyweights where everyone sort of fights each other because that's the only way they can make money.
That's a good point. Also on that card, we give 2 secs to the beast that is. What was his
Ian John
name?
Lewis.
No, not Ian John Lewis. Manuel Chavez, Alex Leopold, man. That was a cracking fight. That was a fucking terrible fight, man. I watched that the other day. It was terrible. It was the first fight that Box Nation showed live on Friday. It was so shit that they didn't even join it from the beginning. They joined it from the 4th round. Manuel Chow was fucking doing the Ali shuffle, running around the ring, man. Even the ref got pissed off with him and said, "Yo, stop running around and fight the guy." Just a horrible fight, man. But yeah, let's go back to Friday night fights. I don't know which one of you guys saw this. Did anyone see this?
Yeah,
I watched in the morning.
Yo, man, I was shocked, man. Brandon Adams.
Yeah, man. What the fuck happened? I don't know if it's just that guy's good, but he got caught. He got caught with his hands down. He made a vital mistake. But I want to really talk about the ref because Adams. After that second knockdown, I couldn't believe what I saw. I've never seen someone so hurt. Maybe I have, but not in a long time have I seen someone so hurt allowed to continue. The guy was wobbling, and the ref actually held onto him to steady him. Like, I've never seen anything like it, where the ref had to hold him to steady him, and then he kept counting, and then he told him, and then he let him continue. He was done after the second knockdown. He was completely done, and the ref let him go. I couldn't believe it. The guy could have got hospitalized. So where, for example, Walters versus Vic, where that should have been stopped, but then the left hook just flattened him. It was like that, where he was done after the second, man, and I couldn't believe the ref. So fuck that ref for letting that shit go on.
You know what my issue is? My issue is mainly like, what's the rule when it comes to the standing 8 count? Because we're seeing standing 8 counts being used in certain fights, but we don't get it seen in other fights. You get what I'm trying to say? It's like the referee just thinks, "Oh, I'll use a standing 8 count here." Like, that second knockdown wasn't even a knockdown. It was as basic as standing 8 count. Adams wasn't dropped, and his head was getting snapped back while he was on the ropes, and he just jumped in and like gave him a count. if you're gonna jump in, you have to stop it, or
Yeah.
right, or either they need to sort this whole rule out because it's annoying. And that was terrible reffing, man. It was very bad.
You know what? What the situation was, Teddy and Joe Tessitore broke it down perfectly. Is the guy that was supposed to win was about to lose, and the ref was giving him like extra help. That's all it was. And
the A-side business.
Yeah, and I agree with it. I think if that was Thompson, jelly-legged and all fucked up, the ref would have stopped it there, and then he wouldn't have given him a second chance. But because it was the favourite and the A-side looking all jelly-legged and about to fucking drop, like Ari said, he shouldn't even put his hands on him to steady him. And I just think that was bad on Adams in the sense of he was getting caught with big shots, his hands were low. Take a knee, man. There's no shame. It's like a lot of these boxers don't think. They just stand there taking big punches and then expect, like, oh, why did the fight get stopped? Well, take a knee, regroup, recompose yourself, and then carry on. I just think the thing with Adams is, I think the first round when he dropped Thompson, one thing, I don't think that was a legit knockdown, but fair enough, he took it. And I think he just thought, you know what, I can take this guy out. And he just got careless and got caught, and that was to his detriment. That's what fucked him up.
Cam, I think you make a really good point there. The knee taking is such an underrated skill in boxing. I think if you trust your powers of recovery, take the knee, give up the 2 rounds. But if it saves you being stopped early, then it works out for you. Like one of the examples is obviously like Brian Rose in the Carson Jones fight. If he'd have just taken a knee, he wouldn't have been fucking knocked out in round 1. Do you know what I mean?
And Tapia a few weeks ago, same thing. Just getting caught with big shots. Take a knee, regroup, rebalance yourself.
Yeah, man. And just while we're on the subject of ref, shout out to the ref in the DeGale fight. I thought he was excellent, man. Like, for me, if you don't notice a ref, he's had a good night, and I thought he was really good, you know?
Yeah, I think he was. I know Horling was questioning him in the sense of he's not really refed any big fights, but I thought he was really good.
Yeah, the only thing that it probably wasn't even his fault. It was like when the round that DeGale knocked him down, his corner took about like a fucking minute to get out of the ring at the start of the next round.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, apart
they were doing them old tactics.
Yeah, I thought he was excellent otherwise, man.
Yep.
But you know what, yeah? Sorry just to cut in there, but what a story though, man. This guy came in on 1 day's notice and he ends up winning the whole tournament, man.
Yeah, John Thompson. Andy actually fucking painted a picture of him winning the trophy, winning the belt the night. he's a good painter as well, you know. Did you see the picture?
Nah, I didn't see it, but I heard about it.
Yeah.
But what a story, man. Only in boxing, man, like, coming in a day's notice. It's crazy, man. And Friday Night Fights is gone now, innit? It's going to become PBC, and we're not going to get any stories like that anymore, you know? We're just going to get Heyman
mismatches.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna get now, isn't it?
Nah, man. I was
Heyman Glaston, man.
I was a bit sad to now that it's come to the end of Friday Night Fights. So I'm a fan of fucking Joe Tessitore and Teddy Ellis. Obviously, I play the fight night games, man. So you're used to their commentary, man. If you play those games, and yeah, it's a shame that it's going. I just hope PBC do something refreshing instead of what Ari just suggested about mismatches. I hope they use that platform, you know, to give some of their younger fighters that he's signing decent fights. And there's no point giving guys easy fights. You need to give them tests earlier on, and that will strengthen them and make them better fighters for when they finally do take themselves to another level. So I hope Heyman uses that platform wisely.
If Khan looks good on Spike, maybe you can get onto ESPN next fight.
Joe, you're getting kicked off the show. You're not talking about Selby now, man.
Cam, can I play this?
What?
Can I play this?
Play it. Can't go wrong with Boys to Men. Yeah, man. Boys to Men, man. I like Boys to Men.
I had to. You know.
Fair enough.
ESPN, you know, I don't watch as much as I used to, but
yo, man,
shout out to BT as well. You know, BT Sports got it for us. They're live. So, man, yeah.
Live
Hopefully
in
they
HD.
get Heyman. Hopefully they get the Heyman fights as well.
You guys know I'm a big fan of Teddy, man, but his farewell speech was fucking long, man. I was getting bored halfway through.
Yeah, I was going to skip it. Wasn't getting to the point. I was waiting for tears or something, but he just started,
Joe Tessitore was
guys.
like, fucking wrap it up, man. Come on, guys. We gotta go home in a bit, man. You're fucking taking long with your speech. But is it definitely set as Joe and Teddy's taking over on PBC?
I don't know, but...
Yeah.
Oh, is he... Yeah?
Yeah, they're staying, so, maybe that's why Teddy wasn't crying, because, he knows he's still got a job. It's not like...
Wow.
It's not like he's not losing his job, you know what I mean?
The thing is, the fights are going to be a lot less, isn't it? Like the ESPN Friday Night Fights, they have a lot of small cards around, like, I don't know, East Coast of America. So from what I'm looking at the PBC, I think they'll be like once a month or once every 6 weeks. I don't think they're going to be as active. So that makes me consider, do you think Teddy Atlas will go back to maybe training guys on more of a regular basis now that he won't have that much time invested into Friday Night Fights? I think he'll go back, man. I think he'll pick up a few heavyweights and get back to training.
I doubt it.
Maybe. Who knows?
All right, let's take a break. Talk about the Prediction League. Let me bring up the top 10. Give some props to people.
Can I just say, I picked Fedoso, whatever his name is, the Russian who won the Boxino, and some reason it went down as Dennis, so I'm a bit pissed off with that, so I might just pull out this season.
How much points did you get this week, Ari?
Well, terrible, I got like 6 points.
Wow.
And
I didn't even have a good week myself.
I had Fedosov by stoppage, I don't know what happened, and I should have put Char in, but I can't trust two bums. And I wanted to put Char in. I spoke to Cam as well. I was like, you know what, I need to put Char in. And I never got round to it. I forgot.
Hey, Ari, we'll make our points back this week when nobody trusts the Eurobums, innit? We'll be backing them.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah,
all right, Ari. Take it on the chin. The same shit happened to me last season, Ari. Take it on the chin, bro. Take it on the chin. Okay, first place, Hamada. He's still there, but he didn't have a good week. 62 points. Inverness Mark had a worse week, 34 points. Nothing something in third. Basileus in fourth. Boss up 03 in fifth, along with me. Joint 6, Kernan 1, 2, 3 and Sweep the Leg. 7th we got Mun. 8th we got J Bo 7. 9th we got Big Nick Superstar. And 10th we got my boy Lukey. We got quite a few fights up this week. We got obviously the Khan fight on Friday on Spike TV with... Give me a second while it's coming up.
I think it's Chris Algieri, mate.
Sorry, Chris. No, he's fighting Chris Algieri. It's just the undercard fights that I put on there. Brian Vasquez versus Javier Fortuna's on there as well, 12-rounder. I think it's for the WBA regular.
That's a good fight.
John Ryder versus Nick Blackwell. Kevin Mitchell versus Jorge Linares. Your boy Selby versus Gradovic. Joshua versus Johnson. And Kell Brook versus Frankie Gavin. So that's,
what a card, eh?
So that's
what a card. But guys know we don't really like Hearn here. Well, I don't know. I like him sometimes, then I don't, because I see how he plays it. It's all about money with him, and we've said it already about this card. It's a great card. It's not about the card. I'm not going to pay for it. I can't.
Why?
I can't do that because the Sky Bill's like £90, mate. If the Sky Bill's £90, I expect. No, think about it this year. We've had no good cards. We've had no good cards.
Fair enough. If you explain it like that, but if you say it's not pay-per-view,
I paid for Mayweather Pacquiao, I had to see that in HD, but I get streams, man. Streaming is not a problem.
I can understand that, but I'm just saying, I thought you was going to say it weren't worthy of being pay-per-view, because I think
it's not that. It's worthy, but it's not. He didn't make it. He made it for the wrong reasons. They made it because obviously they're planning to make Brook the next pay-per-view guy, because obviously Froch is out the door. So he hoped Brook is that.
What, can you blame him for that?
No, that's what. But I can't co-sign it, so I won't. So I have to be right. I can't be a hypocrite. I'm not going to pay for it. I didn't pay for that November shit either, because that's not what pay-per-view is supposed to be. Pay-per-view is supposed to be for two big fighters that deserve big money. So we have to pay extra to see it because of the demand, not because I'm going to beef it up. Selby could have been in Wells. I've said it already. Selby could have won in Wells. Joshua and Mitchell could have been there, and Brook didn't have to be there. Or he could have. He shouldn't even be re-fighting. I don't know what. I don't know the point of having. But that's just how it is. I can't pay for it. But it's a great card. I can't wait. I'm mainly hyped for Selby, man, because Selby, he's winning that belt. I don't know about Mitchell, but Selby's winning.
All right, hold up. We'll get to that in a minute. Let me give a shout to the people in the chat, because some of them leave before the end. We got Tico1, if I pronounced that properly. I was talking to him before the show started. First time he's listening live, so shout out to him. Nesmatic, ACUK, Beast Mode, NK Harfy, Mr. Dermo, BRD Hay, Goruj, Casual Fan, Shams 1000, Heiswi Eurobom, Jeswi Eurobom, Nothing for Something, Basileos, Steelove, The 1-7, Adolf for Real, Hamado Jr., Nunez 83, James Shire 12, Joseph Morgan, Tony Yayo, Supermaster, Davy Boy Essex, James Bennett, PM versus JY, Mau Alpha, Dean Scores, Serato 5, Obasius 12, D Segura, Pip Trina. Where do people get these names from, man? Wasif 1, Jack Captain, and 14 guests. Were you going to say something, Joe?
Yeah, can we go back to Jose FF Morgan, please? I prefer that.
I think that gives you a bit more of bit more of
identity.
Yeah,
I don't want to be associated with Black Ski Mask, do I? Really?
That's true. That's a good point.
But when I see Joseph spelt like that, I just think of, no offense, I just think of that Fritzl guy.
And Stalin, mate. Yeah, fucking lot of good Josephs out there in the world.
It's not good. It's not good.
Yeah, man.
All right, let's get to Friday. I'm not hyped about this. You guys know I'm a Khan fan, but the Chris Algieri fight, I just can't get hyped for this shit, man. I just can't. I know a lot of people saying this is going to be like the Malignaggi fight, and most people are probably right, but I'm just not hyped for it at all.
I think it's a great fight.
We're here.
I think it's a great fight.
Why?
Stop it.
Skill. It's going to be full of skills. Skillful boxers. You can't hate on that. You got Algieri, master boxer. You got Algieri, master boxer. You got Khan, fastest hands in boxing.
I can't wait to see if Algieri makes weight.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm joking. It's a terrible fight, man. We shot on Khan already. So I'm not even going to go there, man.
All right. You guys
want... couldn't be less hype for it, man. Seriously, I don't know if I'm going to watch it live.
Yeah, come on. Are you going to stay up for it?
It's that bad.
Yeah, you know because I took the Saturday off work because I'm going to a Nas concert, so I'll stay up and watch it.
I'm probably just going to stay up for the Brian Vasquez Fortuna fight. I think after that I'm going to probably go sleep, man.
Nah, man, you gotta. If you're staying up for that, you gotta stay up for Khan. Come on, bro.
Nah, man. Listen, 4 in the morning to watch this terrible fight. I mean,
I don't think it'd be that late. You know, I think with Heyman and these some of these Spike cards and stuff, they're usually on a bit earlier. Like boxing fights, the main events start a bit earlier now. I know you mentioned it last week. I think with Triple G.
Yeah, I miss Triple G because I woke up at 4.
So.
Yeah, probably, but I don't know, man.
I'm gonna phone you, man, and wake you up in case you fall asleep.
It's not even like vulnerable Khan. It's like the new uber careful, super defensive Khan.
Yeah, man.
I'll say now that's like Khan's got really fucking boring last few fights, man. I'll say it, man. Like everyone thinks he's still this fucking well exciting fighter. I thought the fucking Alexander fight was pretty fucking shit. If I'm being honest.
No. It takes 2 to tango, though. I don't think he's gone boring. I just think the matchups haven't been the greatest.
Well,
Algieri's not going to bring it out of him, though.
Yeah, like, what's Algieri going to do? Fucking do roly-polies in the ring?
No, I agree. This fight's not going to bring it out of him, and I shit on this fight when it was announced, but it is what it is. It's on Friday. I'm going to watch it because I'm a Khan fan and I'm a boxing fan. Even if I wasn't a Khan fan, I'd probably watch it because obviously if you're going to do a show on Monday, you need to watch the fights. But I'm not looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the Vasquez fight a bit more than this fight, to be honest.
Yeah, it's just no risk, man. Easy. It's like the only thing is, I guess, if he stops him. That's the only unknown.
I can't see him stopping him, man. Pacquiao didn't stop him, even though he was very close to stopping him. Ruslan didn't stop him, so I'll be very surprised if Khan stops him.
Yeah, man.
I think 12 round UD.
Yep, I think you're right. Alright, that's enough about that. Let's talk about Saturday. I was talking to Ari about this, man. When it first got announced, this card, I was like, nah, I don't really want to go to it. But as it's kind of got closer, I kind of wish I was going to it, you know? Like, it's quite a decent card for UK, to be honest.
And it was cheap. Well. The tickets were cheap before it got announced as pay-per-view as well, I think. Like, before he started adding all these fights onto it. You know, we could have gotten to it earlier, but oh well.
Yeah,
you know,
we'll just go watch Bellew and Liverpool. But yeah, alright, what fight should we break down first, man?
I think you have to start from the bottom. Blackwell versus Ryder's a great fight. I think that's a great fight. I'm being serious as well.
Nah, I sound a bit of a troll.
No, I'm being serious. It's a proper fight.
That's going to be an inside fight. It's going to be inside.
I don't know, man. Like, Ryder impressed me against Saunders, man, but after that, he's not really done much, man, Ryder. I know a lot of his opponents have been pulling out and he's been getting last-minute replacements and shit, but he's not looked that good, you know. I know this is for the British title because Billy Joe vacated it, but I don't know if that's going to bring it out of him.
British title always does, man. It always brings it out of the people. Like, it's still an important bout, like for these guys, like the limited guys.
Yeah. And he better bring it because Blackwell's going to be up for it. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, definitely. So that's a 50-50
I'm picking Ryder in that, though. I'm picking Ryder in that.
Yeah, you have to go with Ryder. He's the home fighter, you know. Blackwell is fighting on the rival promoter show. You gotta go with Ryder, but it's a tough fight, man. It's a good fight.
Yo, who's Blackwell signed to?
I think Hennessy.
Yeah, Hennessy. Yeah.
Blackwell actually drew with Kamitsky, so I mean, that shows that he's at least decent. I mean, Kamitsky beats all these frauds.
Yeah, but Hennessy was smart. He only made it a 6-rounder.
Yeah,
he knew if it went 8 or 10, he might have lost.
Wasn't Ryder supposed to fight Kamitsky, and for some reason I think Kamitsky got injured or some shit like that?
No, he didn't get injured. Hand pulled him off.
Yeah, he shot himself.
That was smart. He pulled him out, and then he fought. What's that guy called? The guy from Sheffield.
Etches.
Yeah, Etches. He fought Etches instead, and he knocked him out
and destroyed him. Man, that was a harsh knockout, man. That was a big knockout.
That's how you do it.
All right. So, how you guys picking Ryder by UD?
Yeah, I think Blackwell's tough. I think it'll go the distance.
All right. So, what's next in your opinion? The Joshua fight in importance level.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, you'd have to say.
You guys think that Joshua's going to be able?
The thing is, that'll probably be chief fucking support.
Yeah, it is.
That's fucking pissed me off. I want my boy Selby to get some fucking exposure and come on like one to last or like before Mitchell, but he'll be right down on the card at like 7:30 or some bollocks.
Yeah, he's most likely going to be before Mitchell as well.
The truth is, AJ's the one shifting the tickets and the pay-per-view sales, because I spoke to one of my friends, I think, of end of last week, and he was telling me, yeah, I've been seeing the adverts and Joshua's fighting. He didn't even mention Brook or anyone else. He mentioned Joshua, and he's a casual
Did you see the advert, though? They didn't even show Joshua throwing punches. They showed him lifting weights.
I think he saw the advert where Joshua was selling the card, where he was talking about it. He was like, oh, this guy in a world title fight. Have you seen that one?
I've seen that one. I'm not gonna lie, the one that's going around the sky is getting me kind of hyped. It's a good advert.
Have you seen the Selby one with his dad speaking?
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, that's good. No, but seriously, man, like this is quite
sharp, man.
Go on.
Selby's looking sharp. I watched his media today. His media workout.
Down in Barbados, but
he's looking sharp. But yeah, back to Joshua. I don't know. The closer it gets, I think Joshua might knock him out. Like 4-5-ish.
I've still got like a little doubt in the back of my mind, like he's carrying that much muscle, how is he going to go when he hits like round 8 and 9? But something tells me that, you know, they've probably already done the rounds in the gym. I reckon it could be like a British stoppage. I don't think it'll actually properly spark him. It'll be one of those sort of like accumulations where he just covers up and Joshua just unloads and the ref will jump in, even though he probably could have let it go.
I think it's going the distance. I think Johnson's had a long time to prepare for this fight. He's known about this fight from probably the end of last year. I think he's going to be too tricky. He's going to show Joshua things that he hasn't seen before. I think the only thing is that I'm just worried about is a British stoppage. You know what I'm trying to say? That's the only thing I'm worried about. But because, you know, the hype train's going to go crazy, you know, if Joshua stops and they're going to say, oh, the great Vitaly Klitschko, Tyson Fury, they all couldn't do it. You know what I'm trying to say? The hype train's
Yeah, that's the thing, man. It's almost like it's detrimental to Joshua if he doesn't stop him.
Nah, but then they'll play it off like he got the rounds in. So I think it's a win-win. The hype train will still go on.
Yo, what round's this, man? Because I put it as 10 in the Boxing Coalition predictions,
10.
but the Box Rock is showing 12 at the moment.
Nah, I heard it's a 10 round now.
It's a 10, no belts on the line.
WBC International, I think it's saying.
Oh, might be a 12 then.
Well, might have to scrap it then if you...
You know he's not getting that far.
I know that, but still, though, someone might put UD in it.
Actually, you never know. But Johnson's got no work rate. He just throws out a jab like every 2 minutes. I don't know, man.
Joshua's got a granite chin, though. I mean, not Joshua, I mean Johnson. He's got a good chin.
You never know, Joshua might.
That's yet to be seen, so can't say.
By the way, I'll tell you who's got a fucking unreal chin is DeGale, just quickly.
Yeah, I said it, earlier. He was taking some flush hooks, innit?
Yeah.
Has he ever been down?
No, he's never. He must have... Did you jump on late?
No, man.
I said it.
Very impressed by his chin. Anyway,
he's never been down, amateurs or pro.
Fair play. Anyway, Joshua by British stoppage for me.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with that.
All right, so what's next? Are we talking Selby? Are we talking Mitchell?
I think go to Brook, because Brook's that's the least relevant fight.
Yeah.
That's a good
I
point.
like Brook, yeah. I'm a fan of Brook, but this is a shit fight.
Yeah, and it's a lose-lose fight in my opinion, because I've got a feeling he might look bad in this. The way Gavin fights, I don't think Brook has fought anyone like him, and for Brook to beat him quick, or to beat him, he has to rush him. But the thing is, Brook hasn't really got an inside game. And you know how Gavin is, he works with distance and angles. And it might be, if it turns into like a jabbing fight or something like that, Gavin, you never know, because you know the way Gavin's so amateurish that it might turn into that. So it's a lose-lose for Brook. This fight shouldn't be happening, man. And I'd say the way to beat Gavin would be go to his body, but again, Brook doesn't throw to the body. So Brook might not have the tools to do it. Not in terms of doing it, but doing it and looking good. You know, I still think he'll win. You know, don't get twisted, but I don't think he'll look good.
I
That's
agree.
what I get.
Everything you said, basically, I agree with.
Yeah, I think the way you get Gavin out there is you go to the body, or you just completely bum rush him early and just try and get him out in the first round. Otherwise, he just gets into his little shitty fucking rhythm and just stinks the joint out.
I don't know, man. I think Brook's gonna chin him, man. I don't think Gavin's felt power like Brook. I think Brook is a huge puncher. And I think once he lands that right hand, I think Gavin's going to be on Christian and he's going to go. But I did have a thought. I don't know why this came in my head. I just thought, like, Gavin will be outboxing Brook for about 6 rounds and then a dodgy stoppage and then they'll try to sell us the rematch. I don't know why. I just thought about that once. I don't know why.
I just see, after this fight, I can see the Americans and other podcasts talking about Brook saying he's not all that. That's how I see it.
Yeah, but fuck him. We know he's the real deal.
I know, but I'm just saying he's not. This isn't a good fight for him. You know, when the fight got announced, I said this is silly. You know, it's just Hearn. Hearn sells it as always a big, you know, it's 2 big Brits, but it's not. Come on. Gavin was over there on Warren. When he was with Warren, he used to talk about Brook. Hearn used to laugh at him like, who's this guy? Acting like he didn't even know who he was.
I remember when he was cussing the Bradley Skeet fight. It was like,
but there you go.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden Gavin's got he gets beat by Bundu, then fights one fight, fights two fights. He fights 2 bums and gets a title shot. It's just ridiculous.
I think the best thing about it is, for me, I was watching the Brook workout videos today, and no homo, the best thing about it is that he's keeping himself in shape, and he's not fucking going off on a mad one. Because I think that's half the battle with Brook. If you can keep him motivated and keep him in shape and make sure he gets down to the welterweight limit, he's a serious fucking problem for any welterweight out there. But it's when he fucks up, doesn't make the weight, and looks shit, which is what happened against Carson Jones, that he'll get himself in trouble. But, he looks like he's motivated, and, I think Brook I reckon he could do him early, actually, to be fair. I think early stoppage.
No, man, I think Kid Galahad's brother's been spiking Kell Brook's drinks, Because
helping him get down to the weight.
man, he used to have issues making weight, and all of a sudden now making weight's a bit easy, man. Nah, I'm just trolling, but yeah, there is something in that, man.
That's pure Khan hate.
He does bring the hate.
Yeah, that sounds. I just realised that's some Khan talk.
No, man, that's some trolling, man. I'm trolling, bro. Come on, calm down.
Some Khan, man. Like, none of that on here, man.
Which fight are you more looking forward to, Khan Algieri or Brook Gavin?
Neither, to be honest, but probably a bit more Brook Gavin.
Nah, yeah, man, they're both shit fights, man.
You would think it would be Khan Algieri. Algieri is a former champ, but I just see how easy it'll be for Khan.
It's going to be very one-sided fight. I think
it'll just be so easy for him. He's gonna attack him. There'll be nothing coming back, and even if something does come back, it won't phase him because Algieri's so such a light puncher. It's gonna be exactly like the Paulie fight.
Going to what Hamada was saying earlier about Brook chinning Gavin, I don't think that's going to happen, because even though I don't like Gavin, he's very awkward and he's got decent head movement and he rides punches quite well. I don't think he's going to be able to stop him unless it's quite late, like maybe 8th, 9th, and I agree with Joe. I think it might be a British stoppage where Brook's just throwing punches and the ref just jumps in and thinks, yeah, we'll protect the A side here.
If Brook's a real deal, he has to get rid of Gavin early, man, if he's a real deal. If he wants to send shockwaves around the welterweight division, he has to deal with him.
Yeah, but Gavin's awkward, man. He's an awkward customer. I don't like Gavin at all, man, but I have to respect him. Hopefully
the result of this weekend is that people get so angry at the Khan and Brook fights, they just fucking increase the pressure of them fighting each other. Because it's fucking bollocks why they don't fight each other, man. Khan needs to fucking accept that he's not going to fight Floyd, and he would make more money fighting Brook than he would Pacquiao.
I don't even want the Pacquiao fight to happen now with all the way Pacquiao acted after the Floyd fight, man.
Fuck it, they just need to make it for fucking late August or some shit. I'm fucking sick of them not fighting.
I think that will happen next year, I know that might just sound me being a Khan fan just trying to protect his name, but I've got a feeling that fight will happen next year.
Hopefully.
Alright, what are we going to next? I think it has to be Selby, Joe.
No, get Mitch out of the way.
Leon's not here to...
They're both quality fights. I don't mind talking about either one.
Oh, we'll talk about Mitchell and Linares, man.
Or should we talk about Selby then? Because I think we're all picking Selby.
Yeah, I think we're all biased for Selby. I'm a fan of Selby, even though sometimes I don't like when he reflects on his after the fights and says, "Oh, you should see me in sparring, man. I'm much better." I don't like that. I know we've discussed this in the past, and he might be better at the weight, and he might have issues when he comes to the fights and has to make the fight weight, but you can't go off what you're doing in sparring. You have to go off on what you're doing in the ring, and he does have odd performances where he doesn't look that great, but overall, man, I love his movement. His shots are tippy-tappy, man, but at least he's throwing shots rather than just picking the odd shot. So I prefer the guys that throw shots even if they are tippy-tappy. But when he does sit down in the punches, he seems to generate decent power. I know he's been criticised in the past for not, being a bit more heavier-handed, and it seems to the fact that he's trying to change it a bit and sit down a bit more and stop guys. So hopefully he'll have a good performance against Gradovic. I've never really rated Gradovic. I think he's very limited, and I think Selby should beat him quite easily. Only thing I'd say is Selby always suits a bigger ring, man, just because of his movement, his lateral movement. So let's hope that the ring's not tiny. Anyone else?
Yeah, Joe, how you got it?
For me, yeah, I think I went to Selby's last couple fights in Wales, and he looked good-ish. There's a touch of the DeGale about it, where I feel that the bigger stage is the bigger performance and all that. You know, he's a big. I think he prefers the big stage. I think, you know, Gradovic isn't as bad as some people are making out. I think he's a smart fighter. He's got good footwork. He's got a bit of power, not a great amount, you know, but he's smart. He's a good pressure fighter. But for me, I can't see anything. I just think I think that just plays straight into Selby's hands. I think it'll maybe the first few rounds will be quite close, but I can just see Selby taking it away from him. But literally the only worry that I have with him is that this fight has been pushed back a few times, that he's left something in the gym. That's the only thing. But other than that, I can't see anything other than Selby becoming world champ, mate. What does everyone else think?
Yeah, I agree. I think he'll work off the back foot in this. Stick and go. He'll get the jab off, throw a right hand, then start moving again. It'll be that. He'll keep doing that, reset, do that again, keep going. Because Gradovic, I've never really been impressed with him. You know, he's a pressure fighter, but he hasn't really got that much power. And Selby's got he's got a very good chin. Very good chin. I think he's another guy who's never been down. So,
I know I said with Lim last week I was giving it the big one about him stopping him, but I think it'll just be safety first. I think even if he feels like he could stop him, he won't, just because this is your first world title. This is what he's been building towards. He's not going to try and fuck it up by maybe going for something that he shouldn't really need to go for when he can outbox him. So for me, it's a pretty wide points decision.
Yeah, I got UD.
Hamada?
Yeah, I'm a Selby fan. I got Selby winning this fight, but I think it's going to be a lot closer than we think. I think Velez gave Selby the blueprint. I think Velez in the first 4 to 5 rounds was outboxing him, and Gradovic really didn't know what to do until Velez kind of slowed down and started trading with him. But I don't know, man. I've never been really impressed with Gradovic, but I just think Gradovic is he seems like a better fighter than he looks. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like he seems like he's more effective than he seems. But so I think Selby will win. Close fight, probably.
Okay, let's move on. Kevin Mitchell, Leon's West Ham boy, against Jorge Linares. What do you guys think, Ari?
Yes, I know Leon's not on, but sorry, Leon, I can't pick Mitchell in this, man. I like Linares, and Mitchell chokes in the big fights, in my opinion. You know, we've all seen it. He outclassed it against Casillas in front of, you know, all of his boys in West Ham, and even though he beat that guy in Wembley, he didn't look good doing it. And if you're struggling versus him, I don't think you can beat Linares. Linares is, you know, he's good. He's kind of like Khan, where he's fragile, but he's got all the skills. So I think it'll be a great fight, though, man, because they're both, you know, both guys are good on the front foot. Both like to go to war a bit. So I think that might be the best fight of the night, I think. But
I think definitely.
But I see Linares taking. I'm not sure on the outcome, how he does it, but I think Linares will do it. I need to go back and watch a couple of Linares last fights again. But I think Linares will win.
What do you think, Joe?
Yeah, it's just half the battle's mental with him, isn't it? If he can get over the fucking Burns and Casillas fights, like there's no denying he looked fucking unreal against Linares. Linares, wasn't it? No, Estrada. Sorry, he looked unreal against Estrada. But you know, I've only seen one Linares fight, but you know, he's pretty good, you know, and I think Mitchell's. I think it could go the same way as the Maduma fight, the one in Wembley. I mean, I was at that fight and he was getting absolutely fucking schooled up until the 11th round where he fucking caught him. And I think that's how Mitchell is gonna. If he's gonna win, that's how he's gonna win. I think he's gonna be getting outboxed. But then that left hand of Mitchell, I think if that connects, then, you know, that could really change the fight in his favour. And I think, if anything, it's either going to be a Linares points or a Mitchell KO.
Hamada?
I got Linares by knockout. I think Mitchell... The only way Mitchell... There's a blueprint to beat Linares, and it's out there. We've seen it. I think 3 times he's got 3 defeats. I think one is that...
as well.
One is he is hiding glass, and another one is that his face is made of paper. So, I don't know. Mitchell's going to have to weather the early storm like he did against Maduma, but I think Linares punches a lot harder than that Maduma.
I don't think he's as quick though.
I think Linares is quick. I think Linares got
he's got fast hands.
He's got nice combinations as well.
Yeah, he's slick, fast hands.
And I noticed something about Mitchell recently. He's got this cut on his nose. Have you not seen it? In his interviews, he's got this cut on his nose that he probably picked up in sparring. And I think the first punch that lands on it, kind of like Brian Rose, is gonna open it up, and it's gonna be a bloody night. Sorry, Leon. I know Leon's a West Ham but I just can't see it any other way. I think Linares is levels above him. I think Linares is a great fighter, but he's just vulnerable.
Hey,
and I don't think Mitchell. The only way Mitchell's got to come out early and take risks and just literally throw left hooks, bombs. Because Mitchell does throw with one hand. I mean, he is one hand happy. He is left foot happy. He's got a good jab and a good left hook, but nothing really there with the right hand. But he's got to do that. Otherwise, he's in for a long, hard night.
Yeah, let's not forget as well. We got to rep this flag, man. I think fucking we all want him to win after what he's been through for the last.
Oh yeah.
I'd fucking love it if he won, but it's easily the hardest fight of the night. For me, like with the 2 World Championship fights, I just fucking hope he just catches him with that one perfect shot, you know.
The odds are quite close on this fight. I think they're both
it's
just
the closest
around
fight.
Even money.
I
I think Selby's a huge favourite, so I think the bookies are backing the flag, I guess.
I need to watch a bit more tape on Linares. I think I've only seen him twice, so it's hard for me to make an official pick. But I'm just favouring. I'm not seeing this cut that you talked about, Hamada. That's kind of concerned me because I'm favouring Mitchell. You know, rep the flag this time. But I don't know. I need to watch a bit more tape on Linares this week. Have a look at that cut that Mitchell's got because that could be a big sway in how the fight turns out. So I'm not making an official pick right now, but I'm favouring Mitchell.
I think this is. Like, for Mitchell, this is do or die, really, isn't it? I mean, if he loses, it'll probably be the end of the road for him.
Yeah.
And I hope he does, man, because I think one of the first fights I remember watching was me and my brother. We watched the John Murray, Kevin Mitchell fight, which was fucking unreal.
Yeah, I remember that.
Since then, I've had such a soft spot for him because that was like the fight that sort of got me into the sport in proper. And, you know, man, I think the fact it's a bit like Frotch, isn't it, against Boutte? Where it's do or die. And I think this will finally give him the fucking wake-up call to just go out there, like, sort of try and fucking be under no pressure. I know that's hard to fucking say, but you just got to go out there, not a care in the world, and just fucking do your thing, man.
You know, it's funny you say that about the John Murray fight because, when I was casual, when I was younger, I used to, you know, sometimes you watch Friday night fights when it's on the Sky version of it. You know, us UK guys know what I'm talking about. Where they would have Murray fighting in like, you know, little leisure centres or something. I remember him always beating up guys. And then I don't think I'd ever seen Mitchell before. I can't remember. I might have seen him get glassed by Katsidis, but I can't remember. And then I remember watching that fight and I'm thinking, yeah, Murray's going to beat him up because I'm used to Murray beating up everyone. This is what I really know about boxing. Yeah. And then I see him just get destroyed for 8 rounds. I'm like, wow. who's this Mitchell guy? You know what I mean? So yeah, it's funny you say that about the Murray fight. I always remember that Murray fight because I was one of them dumb casuals back then where I would have told you Murray's like one of the best guys.
No, man. Like, I think if you'd offer Eddie Hearn one of the two, like one new world champ out of the two, he'd probably take it. But you know, there's nothing to say that we can't have two new world champs by the end of the night. You know.
Yeah, I think we could. But I don't know, mate. I do need to watch the last two Linares fights. Actually, I think they might be hard to find, but I just remember him from DeMarco, and that I think it's a Japanese guy fought Arakawa. Yeah. That was a good fight, and he just bossed that fight.
I think that was on the
I've always liked Linares, you know what I mean? He's got all the skills. It's just again.
I think you should watch the Salgado fight where he got knocked out badly.
Is that the one he got knocked out in one round?
Yeah, real bad. He got knocked out with the left
You never
hook.
know. Mitchell's got power. So,
yeah, he does. He has to put it on him, Maddie.
Hey, if Mitchell and Selby win, is this the most world champs Britain's had at one time?
It'll be the most in a long time. Maybe not ever, but it'll be the.
When I was growing up, it was always like 3 or 4.
Yeah, 4 or 5.
It'll be like 8 now, innit? If you're not counting paper belt Quinn.
Do you want to laugh? I saw something on Twitter today. Basically, I saw a newspaper that had. It said that how Britain's got 6 world champions, and then they showed McDonald, Quigg, DeGale, Brook, Frampton, and Chris Eubank Jr.
What, with his interim belt?
Oh,
but they don't include Derry Matthews as well.
Exactly, he's got the same belt.
Yeah, it's a load of bullshit, man.
And then when Derry Matthews got a belt, you know it's bullshit.
Exactly.
Hey, quick shout out to Frank Warren getting Terry Flanagan a world title fight as well at home.
Oh no, that's terrible though. I was looking. I saw
he's gonna get absolutely fucking done.
He's gonna get killed.
Who?
Flanagan's good, man. He's awkward. That guy's fighting's good though, man.
Zepeda. No, but you know what? I'm pissed off about this though. I'm pissed off about this because
18 wins and 17 knockouts, mate.
What, did he move it from Manchester?
No, I'm pissed off because I thought, right, it's at Manchester Velodrome. The tickets would be like £30. I'll probably go down with the boys. And then I went onto Frank Warren's website yesterday, and the cheapest tickets start at £55. That's what I fucking paid to go watch Chris Eubank Jr. and fucking Billy Joe Saunders. I'm not paying £55 to watch Terry Flanagan.
Team Eubank, you better pay $55.
Oh, it's my honorary Welshman, KH.
That's for sure, man.
Yeah, man. Get on
Team
board.
Urbank. Urbank and Wembley.
Hey, you UK fighters are taking over, man.
That's it. They're snatching belts.
Americans are taking over this podcast.
Hey, but you guys better be careful, though, because the Koreans are coming strong, too.
Hey, Lynn, fuck what I was saying last week. Let's make it £100 on a Selby stoppage.
Joe, you just said you're not sure about it, man. What the
Welsh
I'm
Mayweather?
down.
Nah, fuck
Let's
it.
do it.
I'm joking. I'm going to Michelin out of that. Fuck that.
No, Dan, he said he's joking, Dan. Let's confirm that.
I'm picking Gradovic to win that fight, by the way.
I'll have a bet on that with you, though.
Nah, I'm not going to bet on that, because what are the odds? Do you know?
Selby's a favourite.
Do you know by how much?
I don't know how to convert it into American, but I think it's 4-11.
4-11. Why would you have to convert that?
Because you don't do the plus minus thing, innit?
Yeah, but it's just a ratio. It's essentially the same thing.
I didn't know that. Sorry.
That's all good. But anyways, I think, because the thing is, Gradovic is going to be in Selby's face all night, and it's not like either of them have that much power. I don't think enough power to knock each other out, so it's either choosing activity or boxing skills, right?
I think Where's that fight going to be?
Power.
Yeah, but you think he has enough power to knock Gradovic out?
I think he's got enough power to fucking deter him a bit.
Nah, Gradovic's going to keep coming forward unless you can hurt him.
Yeah, but that's where you get hurt, man, when you're coming forward. It's not when you're, like, covered up. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I don't think Selby's got the power to hurt him. In all honesty, Selby throws these pity-pat punches, man. it's not as if he really sits down. I think the only punch he sits down on is the left hook to the body.
Yeah, but they're saying, Lim's saying, oh, he's going to come forward all night, but that's all Selby wants. Like, he doesn't want someone who's not going to come forward. He wants someone to come forward all night so he can continually counter them.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, that's true. Personally, I don't really know Selby that well. I've just seen him fight twice, and I'm just biased because I hate his style, so I'm rooting against him. But I probably think Selby is probably going to win just because, like you mentioned, I think Gradav is just like the perfect style matchup for Selby. So.
All right, let's have a break from talking about this week's fights and go to Kev, my boy. Let's get his opinion on the DeGale fight.
DeGale?
DeGale?
Yeah, I just checked the whole fight this morning, actually. It was a good little scrap. It was weird. I don't know if DeGale gassed or what, but there was a whole lot of feinting and posing and not a lot of punches being thrown after that, second round, and he almost gave away the fight. But I remember I didn't watch the fight live, and I caught, the 11th and 12th round because I saw on Twitter everybody saying it was a close fight, and it looked like DeGale won the 11th and 12th round. So when the fight was up for grabs, he basically seems like he took it. So when I watched it back, I saw the action, and I was like, he was hurting him. There was some rounds, I guess round 4, where he was being outworked, but he would land 2 or 3 clean shots that were physically moving Dirrell and hurting him. And I was I don't know, I tend to score that round for the guy who hurts the other guy, not the guy who's throwing flashy punches that, don't really land. And Dirrell is the king of that with the whole and throwing flashy punches that hit gloves or arms and high guard, and they don't actually get through. So I don't know. I think it was a close fight, though. Dirrell they probably won almost the same amount of rounds, but I scored the fight 2 points for DeGale. I had it tied up after the 10th, and then DeGale won 11 and 12. So,
what did you think when you saw what happened in round 2? What was going through your mind?
I thought, damn, there's a reason why Dirrell basically went into hiding after that second round of the Super 6, because he's hiding glass. And he went down and he recovered well. I give him credit because he actually fought back too. He didn't just, go on his bike. In the 4th round, I told you, he was already starting to throw those shoe sign type punches back, but he just didn't put nothing on him.
Yeah, you got to give him credit. That looked like a knockout punch. I thought he was out as soon as it landed. I thought because you saw his mouthpiece come up.
Every time DeGale would get low and load up and throw that left hook, or he would throw in between Dirrell's punches, he would hit him. But for some reason, rounds 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, DeGale just wasn't doing shit. I don't know if he was tired or what, but he would just get low and pose and stand there and look at him and look stupid. And then Dirrell started waving him in and talking shit. And it's dude, you already got dropped twice, man. I wouldn't be talking shit. You're about to lose a fight, man. And I don't know, you look back at the end of the fight, the punch stats, it seems like normal boxing these days is 12 rounds, 400 punches, and 100 landed. It's not a lot of action if you really think about it, especially because, besides DeGale early, no one was throwing with any real power. So you're looking at 35 punches a round and stuff, 36 punches a round. If it's your fight to take, it's on the table, and you go out there and throw, 60, 70. Look at what's his name? Monroe versus Golovkin 1 round through 80 punches. You know what I mean? If you want to go get it, it's out there to be had, and people just don't work. No one has the second gear anymore. But I thought it was a good fight.
Hey, Kev,
yeah,
fuck this fight. Let's talk about our boy, Chris Weidman.
Weidman, yeah, he put in work.
Come on, baby.
That's a superstar right there, Chris Weidman.
I'm sorry,
Cam, stop this.
That's all the MMA talk I'll have. But, no, you're right, Kev. Kev, this fight kind of, it wasn't similar to, but it gave me the same feeling as I was watching it as the Garcia-Peterson fight. It's just these guys are just kind of looking at each other, throwing punches, and it's up for grabs, and no one really capitalizes on it. So,
and it's funny you said that because that's basically the same amount of punches they threw in that fight too. And it's when it's there for the taking, nobody steps it up and takes it to another gear. It's like everybody's content. Everybody's really just content with doing just enough. You know what I mean? Or to show out and look good in a couple rounds and try to protect themselves. And like, I don't know. I think it's pretty sad that everybody's hyped up like this was fight of the year. And it's like, man, boxing's getting really weak when this is fight of the year. It was a good scrap. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not shitting on it. It wasn't a bum fight. It was a good fight, but it wasn't nothing crazy. Like, I don't know anybody who would have watched it as a casual and got too excited and be like, oh, I'm all in for the boxing. Like, I got to see DeGale and Dirrell next. Like, you know, how were the scorecards with you guys? Were you guys all over the place or no?
I had it a draw, but there was 2 rounds where I can maybe give it to DeGale, so give him the win. I could see some people possibly giving it to Dirrell, but not really. I don't think he did enough, to be honest.
Yeah, I think that's the key word. He didn't do enough.
I think Dirrell knew as well at the end. He didn't look too pissed with the decision. He knew he had won.
He's never pissed about anything, man.
Yeah.
That's because Dirrell just doesn't give a fuck.
He came out afterwards and said that DeGale was running and how people blame him and have a go at him for running, and DeGale did the same thing and how he thought you won the fight.
They both took turns doing that. And,
the rounds he ran, we gave it to Dirrell anyway, so it's not like...
Yeah. You could tell DeGale like gave away a couple of those rounds. Like I think it was like 5, 6, and 7, or 6, 7, and 8. He basically did nothing and gave away those rounds. And then you saw him like load up again in 11 and 12. So I was like, all right, that's probably what he did. He figured he had the 2 knockdowns. He had the scorecards in his favor, and he gave away a couple. But I just don't think it was. And then when you see like the crowd, like I don't know. You see the pictures going around like Twitter. There was like 3,000 people in the whole place. Like the place was like, you know, 40% full, you know, so it was crazy. Like there was no energy. I think maybe if people would have been like, if that was in the UK and they would have been willing like DeGale or something, like I think it might have had more energy in the fight, and it just didn't translate in this fight. So
I don't know why Heyman won that purse bid, man. He should have let it just happen in the UK.
Well, I think if the whole talk about Heyman getting his PBC belts is real, I think in order for them to have any validation, like you can see on the broadcast, like they call Wilder not a titleist, they call him the heavyweight champion. They call like, you know, other guys the champion. Meanwhile, they're not. Like
Jacobs is the middleweight champion.
Yeah, Jacobs the middleweight champion of the world, like Triple G, like, you know. So it's like I think he needs, like, in order for them to have some type of validity, like he needs guys to like win the belts and drop them and then just replace them with the PBC belts, which is why he overpaid for it. Like, I don't know, whatever. It's just going to be really funny or really weird 2 or 3 years from now if PBC's still around and they actually got to turn a profit instead of losing millions of dollars on every card. Like, I just really interested to see, Heyman pays his fighters. All right, let's see 3 years from now when he can't spend $5 million in purses on a fight that generates 40,000 at the gate and does a 1.1 rating on CBS. Like... I don't know. So
I actually wanted to ask you, Kev, you're a TV ratings guy. Have you seen anything regarding this fight, TV ratings wise?
No, I didn't. The overnight rating that I saw were only on primetime. But if I do, I'll definitely tag you guys and check in.
Cool.
But yeah, the overnight ratings would usually be out by like now for Saturday. But I'll take a look. I doubt it did that good. I don't know.
Yeah.
It probably did like 4,000 viewers, I think.
It was less. There was less than that in the stadium, so there was probably only 2,000 paid tickets.
That's the thing. That would have sold 20,000 in 02. So it's just
20,000 is a bit much.
Nah,
but yeah, at the same time, I see what you're saying because they would have put on. Oh yeah, the April 25th card. It would have been a big card, and it would have had Selby on it, Mitchell, Joshua.
Yeah.
Instead of Brooke Gavin, it would have been DeGale Dirrell as the main.
Yep.
So yeah.
Would you have paid for it then, Harry?
No.
Of course, Ari would have.
No comment.
Hey, what am I to say? I fucking paid for Fight Pass.
What's next for DeGale, guys? Like he's already talking. Is Froch gonna like take the bullshit route and be like, well, I really want to fight Triple G, but I'm gonna fight DeGale first and get this belt back, type of thing? Like,
no,
is he gonna do that?
I don't think Froch is gonna fight again.
Yeah, I'd fucking be up for banning Froch on the fucking podcast talk. All he wants is people talking about him. He just wants his ego fucking inflated by people thinking, he might fight. He was feeling a bit left out on this.
Yeah.
Everyone fucking moving on without him.
Yeah. Cam, is this the time?
Anytime.
You know, yeah, Joe, you definitely missed the start of the show because I was saying the same thing where he kind of exposed himself in the studio, in my opinion. The way he was talking, it's all ego with him. You know, he kept trying to direct the convo back to him. You know, DeGale's out there winning a belt versus a guy that you got a robbery off, and you're trying to shit on his performance when you robbed the guy. You know what I mean? It's two guys.
I don't know about that robbery. I mean, a lot of people scored that fight for Frotch. It seems like all the Frotch haters like scored that fight.
Frotch wasn't landing anything that fight, man.
Yeah. Neither was Dirrell though. Like nobody was doing shit. Dirrell like was running and throwing backhand slaps and running across the ring, like holding incessantly. Like I don't know.
Yeah, no, but
yeah, you're right though. Like he always finds a way to be like, I'm not that impressed. Like, what do you mean impressed? The guy just dropped this dude twice and won a title. Like, relax, you know.
I think, in fairness to Frotch, it is hard for someone to be like he didn't even get his big send off. Really, like he hasn't announced his retirement, so in his mind, people still need to be talking about him, and it's quite hard to just move away from the game, having not even fucking officially announced your retirement and be happy with no one talking about you. So.
You know what pisses me off about Frotch is that he's basically not retiring because he knows that if he does retire, people are going to stop talking about him and he's no longer going to be relevant, and that he doesn't want that to happen. Another thing I noticed is that all of a sudden, this whole Golovkin talk happens after Golovkin fights. I remember when Frotch beat Kessler and Nathan Cleverly was calling him out, and he started slagging off Cleverly, saying, he's piggybacking off my press. That's just what he did to Golovkin. Golovkin fought, and all of a sudden, Carl Froch's name's everywhere in the news. Golovkin, Frotch wants to fight Golovkin. It seems like Frotch is doing the same thing. He's just trying to stay relevant without fighting.
It's bollocks, mate. He's not fighting again.
He's retired. He's retired, man.
I could fucking put a lot of money on him not fighting again.
The funny thing is, he listens a lot to Ron McCracken, and I think with a year out of the ring, probably 13, 14 months, I don't think he's going to fight anyone serious. I think, kind of like Andre Ward, he'll need a tune-up, and I don't think he'll want to have a tune-up, you know.
Well, even if he fought Golovkin, and we'd all give him credit, even if he won, there'd still be a lot of people going, you dragged him up to super middleweight. There's not enough fucking credit in that.
I can't see Frotch winning that fight anyway.
I can't see him entertaining the prospect of fighting him.
It's not going to happen anyway. It's all bullshit, man. They're just it's piggybacking off press. He just wants to stay relevant.
Hey, Hamada, don't you think? Oh, my bad, Joe. Don't you think that Frotch should fight the other Smith brother on BET after Ward fights the other guy?
Oh, mate.
Maybe.
No comment.
But if he beats Triple G at 168, I think everyone would give him credit. I don't think anyone would put that asterisk next to that win, just because he moved Triple G up a weight class. But I want to see DeGale versus Triple G, honestly, and I'd pick Triple G in that fight.
Yeah, actually, that's a good question, Ari, man.
That's the one thing when I was watching that fight, I said to myself, neither one of these guys are beating Triple G. That's the first thing I said. It was like, these guys ain't beating Triple G, and they're two of the top guys at 168.
Ari, what's your thoughts?
Well, you don't think you could maybe handle him on the inside and smother him like Monroe?
No, get the fuck out of here.
I don't know.
I keep hearing all of a sudden that Triple G is not a good inside fighter, but up until last fight, all I heard was he's the best inside fighter, and he can't fight from distance against movers.
No,
he's a good inside fighter, but I'm not gonna, I don't want to come off biased, but it'll be a good fight, Yeah,
I agree. It'll be a good fight.
DeGale showed he's got a very good chin.
Well, DeGale's world class. It will be a good fight. I don't think he can handle triple. You're fighting a guy who's throwing 400 punches, and let's face it, when he got hit, when he was getting pressured, he didn't like it. Like when he was getting a couple punches thrown at him, he backed up. He did that little shuffle step he does, backed up. And then he did a lot to kind of negate action. Whereas Triple G's not throwing 400 punches. He's going to go out there and throw 700 punches. It's a big difference.
Yeah, but I think
DeGale,
people overestimate how much better Golovkin will look at 168. I mean, that's 8 fucking pounds. And Golovkin, if anything, he looks so much more comfortable going down to 154. And DeGale's a fucking big super middle as well.
Wait, you think Golovkin easily makes 154?
I think he makes 154 a hell of a lot easier than 168, even though obviously
hell no.
you eat yourself up in the weight. I think he's more effective.
No way, man.
The thing is, he's always in shape. So, like, when he does come in the ring at, like, 168, 169, now that he's fighting middleweight, he only blows up, he always weighs in at 159, and then he comes into the ring at, like, 168, 169. But that's him in top shape because he's fighting 4 times a year and he keeps his weight low. Like, just because he gets down to 159 pretty easy, I don't think he's cutting that last 5 pounds pretty easy. Like, if you'd say 157, I think he can make 157, but he's gonna have to kill himself, I think, to make 154.
I mean, but because the thing is, if Triple G does move up to 68, I think DeGale will tower over him. He'll have 3 inches on him at least.
Yeah, and even Monroe was bigger than Triple G in the ring, and like when Triple G fought Rubio. And, granted, Rubio's a bum in my. I don't care what anybody says trying to justify Rubio. That's just Triple G love. I'll leave that up to Wassam to credit that win. But the one thing that came out of that fight was, wow, if Triple G does go up against a big super middleweight, he's going to look a little smaller. Yeah.
I think, yeah. And the thing is, regarding Triple G's inside game, I think he has the best inside game currently of any fighter, just because there's no other guy who varies up his punches the way Triple G does.
Exactly. Who has as many types of punches? Left hooks to the head, to the body, uppercuts.
The thing is, when DeGale was fighting, when Dirrell was pressuring DeGale, that was the worst pressure I've seen in a while from a top class guy. He was hitting nothing but his fucking gloves.
Gloves and forearms, right?
It's just straight 1-1-2, 1-1-2, 1-2. If Triple G fights DeGale, I'm not saying that he's going to land everything, obviously, but he's going to go a couple to the head, a couple to the body, some touch-up punches, and he's going to set everything up, man. So
the best is when Dirrell throws a 3-punch combination that hits nothing but gloves and forearms, and he finishes with the left, and he pulls it back like woo, and he starts staring it down like, look what I did.
Like, I can't stand people who do that, man.
I hate it, right?
People.
How great is that though? It's classic.
I can't stand people who throw their straight power their power hound punch. Like, they shoot it and then they just fucking hold it there. Like,
yeah.
Woo-wee.
They pull it back and they leave it up, like up and cocked. Like, ooh, you seen that? Like, dude, you just hit his forearm. You threw everything you had and the guy didn't move.
Hey, I'll tell you who does that. I'll tell you who does that. Fucking Joshua.
Does he?
Yeah, big time.
Broner does that with his right hand. Like, when he shoots it straight, like, he brings it back around like a reverse bolo punch.
Yeah.
And
Joshua does do that
as well. You can't be fucking having that sort of those mid rounds off. Like, I think DeGale's got a fucking pretty average gas tank, to be fair.
I like yeah, that's another thing. I don't think he can handle Triple G's pressure. I mean, he had to take rounds off in those middle rounds. Like, he was doing nothing. But I think he looked. I don't know too many guys at 68 that have beaten him. So, man, there's a lot of good fights out there to be made. I just hope they get made. Otherwise, I won't be tuning in. I'm on Danny Lim territory now. If it ain't worth it, I'm just not going to be watching.
You gonna watch the card this weekend, boys, in Britain?
Which one's that?
The Linares Mitchell.
I like Linares. He makes for fun fights.
I don't know if
Kevin Mitchell?
I don't know if any US networks pick that up.
Yeah, if it's not on Wealth, I won't.
I think Hearn's trying to hustle. He's trying to get. Hey, I think he's in negotiations. Because I did hear that AWE asked for it, but I think Hearn's waiting to see if HBO pick up. Because I think Showtime already said no. So I guess he's trying to get HBO. It's a big card, man. These are guys that are known in America: Gradovich and Linares.
Yeah, but I don't think HBO and that will pick up the whole card. I mean, the card is good, not the main event. Normally,
that's the problem.
Yeah.
But if you pick up this card, you can't pick up for Brooke Gavin. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's a shame they don't release them. Like, obviously in the US they release the pay-per-view numbers, but they don't do it in Britain. But I reckon the buys on this pay-per-view are going to be proper fucking shit. Right. They haven't got that big fucking rivalry that Cleverly Bellew had to get in all the casuals. It's more of like it's just trade fights, like goodwill title fights, and that doesn't fucking entice people. Like, casuals don't know who fucking Mitchell and Selby are.
It's true.
I don't think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna bomb on pay-per-view.
It's a possibility.
Right, guys. Anything else you've read in the boxing world or want to discuss before we bounce out of here?
Chavez is training with Robert Garcia, supposedly.
Is he gonna go back to 68?
I don't know, but I think he's going to be a superstar with Robert Garcia. I just think that they're going to form a connection like Freddie and Manny, and Chavez is going to take over the boxing game, man. I really do. I'm not joking, guys. I'm serious.
Danny, you're a troll, man.
I'm not. You guys don't know how much of an influence a good trainer can have. And I think he's just going to change his game like Ana, and Chavez is just going to be a very good boxer from here on out. And I think he's going to fight Fanfara again at 168, and I think he'll beat him.
He's fighting a guy we've never heard of.
I've heard of him.
What's his name?
Eldorado Reyes.
Who is he? What's he done?
He's a middleweight fighter. He's a boxer.
Who does he beat?
He's beat 18 people.
Names?
He's undefeated.
Okay.
He's never lost.
He's got a decent CV.
I know.
Who are you talking about?
Eldorado
Reyes.
Gomez? No, Reyes.
Oh. Have they found your boy yet?
Gomez?
Yeah.
Nah, I saw him yesterday at Hometown Buffet. he's macking like a king, man. We call him the king out here.
Yo, Lim, what's A.B. Hahn doing these days?
A.B. Hahn? I don't know. I just whooped his ass in sparring yesterday, so that's pretty much all I know about A.B. Hahn. Nah, come on, man. A.B. Hahn is my least favorite fighter. I can't stand that guy. But in all seriousness, Chavez Jr. is training with Robert Garcia, and he is fighting a bum. And Chavez is a bum. There's nothing. I don't think there's anything that you can do to reclaim his past. You know.
I think Heyman's just trying to get back the money he bought him out for, and getting him back out quickly, because it is a quick turnaround, you know.
That is true.
You know,
after getting his ass whooped.
You know, everyone's saying how Heyman's spunking all this money. All it takes is one Floyd fight on PBC, and he's made it all back.
Yeah, but Fury's not going to fight on PBC.
But
once this Showtime deal runs out, I reckon he'll have definitely one fight on PBC.
Fury's going to want $40 million. Who's going to pay him that?
Exactly. You're going to have to pay him $32 million at least on PBC. How are you going to get back that money?
Meh.
I just don't understand how this is a viable, business operation when you're averaging 1 million viewers on network TV. Those are terrible ratings. They're fucking horrible. Like, you can have women's volleyball get 3 million viewers on NBC at that same time slot,
Let's just fucking relocate boxing to the UK. Fuck it.
I don't know, man. But anything else? Any news on the Porter Broner subject?
Lim, what do you think about your boy Canelo doing 2.7 million views?
Hey, come on, man. What can I say? My boy's a superstar, man. I love Triple G, but Triple G's not anywhere close to that.
Okay, interesting.
Right? No, it's true. And people want to say it was the lead up of the Pacquiao Mayweather replay that counted for all of those for a large portion of those views. And I
don't think so.
Complete bullshit on that.
I think so.
Come on, man. The ratings nearly doubled after that shit.
Yeah, the reason doubled because half the people that didn't watch it were the people that already seen the fight and they didn't want to watch it again. Think about it. If the pay-per-view selling 5 million or 4 million, most of them are pissed off Pac fans or guys who don't like Floyd. They're not going to want to watch him do that again. So they come in for the Canelo fight. That's how I did it. I didn't want to rewatch it. I fell asleep waiting for Canelo, man. The Floyd fight. I didn't want to watch it again.
Why?
That fight got so much negative backlash.
Exactly.
So watch the replay. But that's exactly my point, though.
So of course, the other million are the guys, like say some of the hardcores or other guys or casuals who didn't want to watch the rematch, so they're in for the Canelo fight. So of course, the Canelo fight, the Floyd Pacquiao got big views from the people that didn't pay for it. You know what I'm saying?
But if they weren't
So
interested in
eventually see it.
Canelo, wouldn't they have walked away after the Floyd fight?
No, because it's boxing and they want to watch boxing.
Nah, that's bullshit, man. Come
It's
on.
Canelo. I'm not saying Canelo's not big. Don't get it twisted. Of course, he's a big name. It's not like it wasn't any guy fighting. It was Canelo. Yeah, of course. But you can't say it had no advantages. Like you can't say it was all Canelo, none to do with the fight beforehand. Of course it was.
But at the same time, I mean, this you can go both ways with this because there's always lead up, programming and television that leads up to any fight. So,
Yeah.
I mean, to say this is dramatically more beneficial than any other HBO program, I don't know. All I know is that 2.2 million. I know what Triple G, his peak was 1.5. Cotto's was like 1.6. Chavez was 1.6. 2.2 was a drastically larger number. So,
And I think Canelo's drawing powers are being underrated. I think he was a big part of Floyd getting over 1 million pay-per-view buys all the time because he used to always fight on Floyd's undercard. And when he came off Floyd's undercard, you saw he started dropping down. So
true.
So I think Canelo's a legit draw, man.
Yeah, and also regarding Triple G's numbers, I don't know what did he do against Monroe? Like 1.3?
1.5, 1.47 or something like that, I think. Just under 1.5. Which is quite good, if you think about it.
That's fair. But I think, I don't know if Canelo has anybody to fight, though, at pay-per-view other than Cotto. And I guess Triple G would be pay-per-view, but, like, even right now, I don't see... I mean, how many buys would that do? Like, what, 500,000? 600,000?
Yeah, probably. I think the Cotto fight's the one. But Cotto's, Cotto, so you never know what we're going to get.
I read in some magazine that Cotto is already having, I guess, preliminary discussions with Canelo in terms of a fight in September. I don't know if that's true, but...
Oh, shit.
I remember the last time this happened and Austin Trout ruined the whole plan.
No doubt, right? Trout.
Huh?
No doubt, Trout.
Yeah, no doubt, Trout ruined that shit.
No, if Canelo Cotto happening, I'm making that fight, man. I'm going to that shit.
Yeah, you're gonna be rocking your Cotto t-shirt.
I haven't got a Cotto t-shirt, but I'll buy one just for the occasion, and get beat up by those Mexican guys.
We can wear one of my Canelo t-shirts if you want. Yeah.
Nah, it's okay.
Yeah, but I think Cotto by any means. I know I really dislike Cotto, but Cotto looks like a fucking beast right now.
When is Cotto fighting, anyways?
2 weeks.
June 6th.
Yeah, not this week. Next week.
Oh, so he's fighting next week, yeah?
Yep.
Oh, I completely forgot. Amir Khan is fighting this Friday, right?
Yeah, Chris Algieri.
Holy shit! I can't believe I forgot about that.
That says it all.
I know. I thought you guys discussed Selby. No, when I came back on, I thought all you guys discussed for the past hour was Selby versus Gradovich. I didn't even know about Algieri versus Khan, man.
Yeah, we kind of skipped it quickly.
I can't believe that shit is on Spike, dude.
Yeah.
Like, Cam, I know he's your boy, but Spike is known for watching fucking Star Wars reruns every single day, man. Like, all they do is show Star Wars and Rocky.
Do you know what the fun? Do you know what? Imagine when I first heard about the fight being made and it being on Spike. I thought the fight was on Skype.
You thought Skype had an official channel all of a sudden?
Oh man, I was long. Khan's got history with Skype.
You thought Khan's gonna get his thing out, innit?
Can you imagine if it was on Skype and Ustream at the same time, man? You had to pay like $1.99 to watch.
Is anyone actually picking the fucking avocado kid then?
Nah.
No.
Chris Algieri's a bum, man.
All jokes aside, Lim, how do you see it playing out, the fight?
I see your boy smashing Algieri. Absolutely smashing him.
Just 12 rounds UD?
I think he might stop him, man. I think he'll stop him, actually. on cuts because was it
Sorry, Dan, you're breaking up a bit.
oh my bad. I'm gonna stop him via cuts. Stoppage, right?
Via cuts.
Difference. There's too much of a difference, and not only
Yeah, he's still breaking up, Dan.
Huh. Can you hear me?
A bit. It's not that the quality's not that good.
Yeah, but I was watching the Road to the PBC thing for like 5 minutes, and Andre was saying, "I'm a dangerous fighter. If I was a fighter, I wouldn't want to fight me." And I turned it off right after that. I said, "No, come on, man, you lost me there."
Was he making breakfast while he was saying it?
I don't know. Is he making the same breakfast as in the past? Because if he is, he's gonna lose without a doubt.
It's like avocado, isn't it?
Avocado, multi-grain bread, and fucking eggs.
Is Tim Lane still in his corner?
I think he
that's
dropped.
half the reason why I'd watch it.
I think he dropped Tim Lane, you know. I think he's got a different trainer, but don't...
Kovalev's trainer.
It's with Kovalev.
Oh, John David Jackson.
Yeah.
Interesting. That's interesting. It's not gonna do him any good, though.
It would be great if Algeria could pull one out of the bag.
You'd fucking love that, wouldn't you?
And not caught out.
The thing is, it's like, it's so one-sided at the moment. I could see him just dropping him like randomly, you know.
Like Julio Diaz.
But I think Khan should win it 12 round unanimous quite easy, man.
I think Khan could stop him, you know, if Khan's aggressive, but I think Khan's going to be safety first. He's clinching bullshit, holding with one hand, punching with the other. Khan's learned some dirty tricks on the Virgil Hunter. He's fighting like Andre Ward, and Andre Ward gets shit for it.
In the past, he's dropped a lot of guys to the body, man, but he rarely goes to the body these days.
He's safety first now, man. He's fighting like Andre Ward, and he's not getting no shit for it, and Andre Ward does. I don't think that's fair.
Oh, I fucking shat on him earlier, mate. He's fucking boring as fuck.
No, I don't think he's boring, man. At least he throws punches. Like, a lot of guys out there are very selective with how many punches they throw. At least Khan's throwing combinations and flurries, man. I don't think he's boring to watch. I just think, like I said earlier, that the matchups haven't been the best.
Yeah, it was a bit over the top for me there. Sorry.
But yeah, should we call it a wrap? Seeing as though we haven't really got much else to discuss. Okay.
Yeah, it's up to you.
Joe, you got any final thoughts for us?
Carl Froch has a better legacy than Joe Calzaghe, but Joe Calzaghe would school him every single day of the week.
No Welsh bias coming in there.
Nah, that's fucking fact, mate. I'll admit Froch has got a better resume, but you put those two in a ring, fucking Calzaghe just Jeff Lacey's the cunt.
Alright. Thanks, Joe. Hamada, you got any final thoughts?
Nah, just would love to see Algeria knock Khan out this weekend.
You hater.
I am, baby.
Just so everyone knows, that's not my smoke alarm you keep hearing. That's Hamada's.
What is it
you don't
with
hear
you fucking smoke alarms?
Mine's different. You don't hear mine anymore.
We're the smoke
Look
alarm
at Ari.
code.
Look at Ari trying it. Look at him.
Yeah. No, because it's actually going off every second, Hamada. I don't know if you know. It's actually quite crazy.
By the way, Cam.
Yeah.
What happened to the fucking Antonio who called up a few weeks ago?
We never found out, man. He never got back to us, man.
Antonio
Maybe he got kidnapped.
I fucking was thinking about him the other day. I was just hoping he was alright somewhere.
Was it when he all of a sudden just went, oh, and then that's it?
Yeah, man, he got body snatched.
Funny. Wow. Yeah.
What up? Antonio.
Were you not on the show, though?
Mm-mm.
I'm sure
you
you
were
were.
fucking talking, and then all of a sudden he just went, oh, man.
And then got cut off and never called back.
Yeah, we haven't heard from him since.
That was probably Ness.
Ness Heyman banging his front door in, fucking bum boys.
Just strangling him, man. Telling him you can't call into the coalition anymore.
All right, Ari, you got any final thoughts?
No, just, DeGale done the job.
Yeah, we know.
Hopefully.
We know.
Yep. Let's make sure everyone knows. But yeah, hopefully, he fights. I'll be rooting for Gross versus Jack. So that fight can be made. But other than that, we got a great UK card coming up. But I think Shelby would definitely do it. Brooke should do it. Hopefully Mitchell does it. You know what? Maybe Mitchell can knock him out, actually. But I think that's the only way Mitchell wins. I don't see him winning a decision. So yeah. I'm waiting for Saturday.
All right, thank you, Ari. Dan, any final thoughts, sir?
I think this is the first time that I'm going to be rooting for Khan versus an opponent. So that just shows you how much I dislike Chris Algieri.
Are you going to watch it live, Dan?
In person?
No, I mean, like, you going to watch it while it's on TV?
Yeah, I mean, it's on Spike, man. How could I not?
Okay. Anything else?
Shout out to Chemo for riding with Selby quickly.
Oh, regarding that, yeah, I got fuck, man. I'm gonna pick Gradovic, even though he's probably gonna lose, but I'm still picking Gradovic.
Did you just shout out Chemo?
Yeah, he's riding with me and Selby.
Wow. Chemo's a bum.
Nah, don't check Chemo. We're gonna do it this week.
Nah, Hamada, man. Don't diss my boy Chemo, man. He'll come back. He'll come for your neck. He'll come for your throat.
Chemo's a hater.
Nah, man. Chemo's the truth.
He's a hater, man.
But yeah, we'll wrap it up. Thank you for all you guys on the line. Thanks to the people in the chat. And thanks for anyone that listens and downloads. We'll be back next week. Goodbye.
You just listened to the Boxing Coalition.
I did. And I love boxing. I fucking love boxing.
A big shout out to the Boxing Coalition. You're a newbie.
No, I ain't new, man.
If my fucking next door neighbour became the #1 flyweight in the world, you know what I'd do? I'd fucking walk past the cunt.
Derek, how you doing, bro?
I was physically banging, blood.
I disagree.
First time I hear the show, man, it was fucking badass.
Vamos Argentina, la concha de su madre.
I see the bomb in them.
I get home and she's like, what the fuck? Me and the kid are here. Why don't you get home and talk to us? I'm like, man, you guys don't know shit about boxing.
Kel, how does it feel to be the new IBF champion?
Feels great. Great. Did we really dive into the black hole right off the jump?
I think he's hiding glass.
Just to play devil's advocate.
You want 1 portion of crow or 2 portions of crow?
Give me 2 portions with a supersized fries and a large drink, please.
I can't stand him, what? I'm Scottish.
Cringe side?
But you won't brush Anthony fucking fat ass Joshua, would you? He's not fat.
How about you tell us what you weighed for your final thoughts?
My weight?
Thank you for listening to the Boxing Coalition. We are live every Monday, 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. UK time, 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern.